Nani the fuck did Omae just fucking emasu about Watashi, Uchisai bitch deska? Watashi have anata know that Watashi graduated top of Watashino class in Nihongo 3, and Watashi been involved in Iroirona Nihongo tutoring sessions, and Watashi have over Sanbyaku perfect test scores. Watashi am trained in kanji, and Watashi is the Ichiban letter writer in all of Southern California. Anatu ananimo naita Watashi but just another weeaboo.
Now we on?
Hello.
Hi.
They hear me? Yes, they can.
I just started my background music. Okay. Wait, no. This is a little bit too late. Hello, everyone. What the fuck is the Reddit page? It's so funny when you start the stream. So, wait, hold on. Maybe I just mute. No background music yet. Okay. Hi. Today, we're
Thank you,
gonna
Gwen.
read r/nosleep Reddit page. It's like small what was it? Small spooky stories with
Sometimes they're small, sometimes they're a bit longer, yeah.
yeah, with Dimothy here. And
Yeah, and the plan is for today. Yanni's never read any of these types of horror stories and stuff like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna read one or two stories from the very top that I know are pretty good to get us into the mood. And then we're gonna look at to like what's been hot for like, I don't know, the previous week or the previous month and see if any of the like, smaller creator stuff is good or maybe it's a bit trashy. We'll see.
yep,
But it'll be all in good fun. And
yep,
this might be a fun little thing to do on the side here and there
yep,
every now and then.
yep, 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 yep.
Don't you yet me.
So as you guys know that I'm struggling from burnout. So I think for today's stream I'll keep it relatively short. Um and it's mostly just reading anyway, so I won't, have a lot of opportunity to talk to chat. So Dimothy here is gonna do the talking. Mostly, Dimothy is gonna carry us through
Well, isn't that
today.
the
Clap
isn't that the usual?
clap, clap
Wow.
clap. Yolo, hello Sun, hello Bass, hello Riku, hello
Hello,
Wen, hello
chat, yeah.
Yuji, hello Jack. Hello everyone, welcome in. Welcome, 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 welcome.
You kind of sounded like Pac-Man there for a second. Waka 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 waka. Yeah, I'm still carrying. I'm a literal fucking ghost, and I'm still carrying. This bitch got my remains out of my grave, and still like she did like a whole incantation circle because she's like, you can't leave the spiritual world. I fucking need you.
The
It's
spiritual world.
there we go.
Don't you want
Streamlabs
me like
lol
I want
XD.
you, baby? Don't you need me like I need you now? Sleep
No,
tomorrow.
no, no. I don't.
Okay, let's start. I just need
Okay.
to get my background music on so everyone can hear how spooky it is. It's a little bit late for the spooky season, but okay. You guys can hear it, right?
Yeah, guys, it's time for our Halloween stream. Let's go.
Let's go. The first one?
Yep. My sugar daddy asked me for weird favors. Everybody has had that moment, you know? You get a sugar daddy, and then he's just like,
I
babe,
never had a
I need,
sugar daddy.
I need, I need you to go to the harbor. I need you to catch me a real big fish. I'm talking to like a fat ass carp, and I'm just like, but there's not even carp out in the ocean. Don't you correct me? You know?
Your experience sounds very interesting. I don't think I've
I
ever
mean,
had.
it was my $900, so you know.
That's good money. That's good money. I gotta admit, I gotta tell you, yeah, that's good money. Anyways, wait,
All right.
is it the background music fitting the mood?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So do you want to be narrator or me?
I think I can read this one.
Yeah, because the main protagonist is a girl for
Yep.
this story.
My sugar
Okay.
daddy asks me for weird favors. Can anyone hear me? Okay. His Tinder profile said he was 45, but he looked to be in his early 30s most. Looking for sugar baby. Well, sorry,
700.
700, 700 bucks weekly, no sex. Why is I'm a clown?
You gotta, they gotta think of the scariest thing they could.
It sounded too good to be true, but as a broke university student, I was willing to take my chances. I swiped right, and Tinder let me know it was a match. His message came seconds later. Hey there, sweetheart.
I mean, I can read as the dude.
Okay.
Hey there, sweetheart. I felt your recoil.
And he stole 900 bucks from me. I put the money
What
to good use.
even is the no sleep Reddit? Essentially, the no sleep Reddit is, and no, I'm not doing it again. The no sleep Reddit is a bunch of like either short or long form horror stories that are posted like as if members are like posted about like a story that's happened to them or something that they known about in their lives.
Okay, continue.
Yep.
I cringe at that word. I hated it, but $700 was $700, so I sucked it up and replied, Hey. His name was Jack. Hey, Jack.
Both of them smiley faces is weirdly like terrifying. Just
I know, right? His name was Jack, and he told me he owed his own business, although he never specified what kind of business it was. We talked for a while before he asked me for my Venmo, so to send me the first payment. The first payment. After a few minutes, I got a notification. I stared at the $700 for at least 20 minutes, expecting to wake up from a dream and at any second, but it wasn't a dream.
You still there?
I clicked on a message. Yes, if you don't mind me asking, what are you looking for in return? I stared at the chat until he replied.
I'm just looking for you to do a few favors for me.
That sounded like it was going to be sexual to me. Like what?
For example, the first thing I need you to do is to pick up a delivery for me.
Hmm. That sounded innocent enough, but I was still expecting there to be some kind of twist. $700 to pick up a package? Come on, even I wasn't that naive. From the post office or something?
No, I'll send you the address, but I'd rather not do this through Tinder. You got Kick? Or can you give me your number?
Kick? What was this? 2011? I decided to give him my number instead, and he texted me the address immediately, followed by the address to his house, where I would have to drop the package.
I'm not home right now, but there's a key on the bottom of the blue flower pot near the door. Go inside, put the package on the coffee table in the living room. Make sure that you lock the door when you go inside the house, and then lock it again when you leave.
I grabbed my car keys and wallet and got into my car, putting the address into Google Maps. I got it on my way. My phone buzzed as I backed out of my driveway.
I'm serious. Lock the door both times. Please.
I thought that was a little excessive, but I promised him that I would. The house looked abandoned. It had a broken chain link fence around it with a small door that was hanging onto dear life. It stuck out like a sore thumb, surrounded by houses that were a lot nicer than this one in comparison.
You here for jack shit?
I looked up to see a man standing in the open doorway of the house. He took almost the entire space, his head skimming the top of the door frame. He was huge in height and muscles, and his entire torso was covered in tattoos.
My kind of man. A big, broad, built like a genuine brick graffitied wall. I like them 10, 11.
You like it when it's hard?
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! What are you trying to say now?
I
Have
mean,
some class.
what
Have some class.
what do you mean when I'm trying? I'm saying like the muscles, like hard, like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah,
Like that.
yeah. I'm talking
Damn.
about muscles.
Gulp. Cut diamond on those things. Fuck. All right.
Yeah, I guess I replied, not moving from my spot on the sidewalk.
Stay right there.
He said, I did. I actually don't think I would have moved if he asked me to. I looked around and realized that there was no one else on the street. It was a 21-year-old. I was a 21-year-old woman alone in the street. I grabbed my car keys. A few minutes later, the man came out carrying a cardboard box. It was about the size of the shoebox, but stained and damp on some of the corners.
Can you open your car?
He asked. I opened the trunk, not wanting that inside of my car seat, and he set it in.
All right, there you go.
He said, thanks, I replied. I walked around to the driver's side of the car and opened the door.
Oh, and one more thing.
He said. I looked at him.
Watch out.
He said. I did reply. I blasted my music as I drove to Jack's house, hoping it would drown out my anxiety. It didn't. I parked
Could you imagine that, by the way? Just like you're giving a delivery and stuff like that. Like this dude's like, you better lock that house both times. And then it's like you go on and it's just big brick shit house of a man gives you a package and he just says, watch out. And then like as you're ready to leave, what'd be your reaction?
I would shit my pants.
I'd be like, oh hell no, I'm like involved. It's like cartel shit. Who the fuck's following me?
What is chat's reaction? Like, guys, imagine that happened to you. What do you guys do? Do you think, like, if that happened to you and you're like, after getting the package, do you think going to the police would be a good option?
Well, I don't think it'd be like a police. Like you could go to the police because it's just like, yeah, this guy gave me a weird package, and then the police are just like, okay, what do you want us to do?
I don't know, investigate or something. Never mind.
Now here's the
then.
thing: if you did this knowing you would get $700 for doing just simply this package delivery, would you do it still?
Oh, that's smart.
Especially like in considering in her shoes, she's a broke university student.
That's true. Okay. I suck it up and do it.
Okay.
I parked my car in the stone driveway and stayed inside the car, admiring the house. It was a huge house with stone pillars on the front porch and the greenest grass I'd ever seen in my life. I turned the car off and got out. I grabbed the package and walked to the front door, getting the key from where he said it would be. I opened the door and stepped in, closing it behind me. I thought about what he had said about locking the door when I got inside, though that was a little overboard. But as I stared at the closed door, something made me reach out and lock it. I walked inside, my feet cushioned by the thick maroon carpet, and admired the inside of the house. All the furniture was wooden and looked incredibly expensive. Blah, blah, blah. I would probably finish school a dozen times with the money that it took to furnish this place. I set the package down on the coffee table, and as I walked back to the door, I heard a phone ringing from somewhere inside the house. I froze. In my pocket, my phone buzzed. I took it to look.
Don't answer any calls that aren't from Marvin.
I put my phone back and followed the sound of the phone, poking my head into the few different rooms before I found it in the office. I walked over to the desk and looked at the call ID. Incoming call from Jack. That was odd. I grabbed my phone to look at the message again. I was starting to get a little creeped out and decided I wouldn't answer just to be safe and left the house, remembering to lock the door as I left. I've done a few more favors for Jack since then. I drove a BMW to a random park in another city, only to get out and drive a different car back to Jack's house. He had me meet one of his employees at lunch who then gave me a briefcase to deliver to his house I had gone to and told me he would know if I looked inside. Several occasions he asked me to drive down to that same house and stay with the guy whose name was Julio for a certain amount of time. In total, I've made around $3,500.
I mean, she's making bank. Just follow the rules and you get money.
My girly is making money. My girly is girl bossing out there. Holy
But
shit.
okay, so here's the thing.
Mm.
It's paying out super well, but again, like after that first package thing, would
Mm.
you actually want to do this more, like any more of this guy? Because like again, like as she's saying it, it's like, well, yeah, there's a lot of money, but it's like it's really fucking weird requests. Like, don't look inside a house that I'm having you deliver this car to. Go to this one park that's literally in an entire other city and park a car here and then drive back in another place and then like okay drive over to this place with this guy named Julio. You don't have to talk to him, but just drive with him. It's just like, why are all these so weirdly specific?
I think hold on. Thank you so much, Starlight, for the head pad. Hold on, let me just uh move dime to the other side. Here.
Like, what happens after, what if people start looking for you because you're involved, kind of scary, not gonna lie, and the money means nothing if people starts haunted. Yeah, like that's the thing about it, right? Because like it seems like it feels like drug operation shit, even if it doesn't seem overtly like it. So it's just like, do I really want to be considered involved with this? Is my question. But at the same time, you have to think of it from our protagonist. She literally doesn't have like a major job, and she's a broke university student. So it makes sense that she's doing it. But I feel like in my own shoes, after that first or maybe the second job, I'd be like, okay, I'm bailing out. This is getting too weird for me.
I think I probably talked to someone after the delivery, and if they're my if I talk to the person that like, hey, I got this sugar daddy, but it's weird, and if they're my good friend, I think they would tell me to like stop doing it, and I think I'll stop doing it.
Because what already kind of sets my nerves up a bit, right, is like that
Mm.
one moment where it's like, only answer calls from Marvin. Yet the dude who's employing me just tried to call me after giving me that warning. What's the deal with that?
Yeah, so that's very
Because like, is that just a weird test, or is that somehow a threat?
damn. You really have the brain cell.
All right, I need you to spend the night at my house.
The 1390 Twitch. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, thank you. Welcome in. Welcome to Universe. How are you doing? Hello. We are reading our no sleep today. R/no sleep on Reddit. So I won't be able to talk much, but I hope you enjoy the story. Thank you so much for the follow. Hi.
All right.
I hadn't ever seen him in person, but I had talked to him on the phone a few times. He proceeded to tell me he would pay me 1,000 bucks to spend the night at his house, provided that I followed a few rules. I drove to his house that evening. The driveway was empty, and it normally was, but the porch light was on. I walked up, unlocked the door, went inside, and locked it again. Everything in the house looked the same. Jack has told me over the phone that he would leave the list of rules on the dining room table. I set all my stuff down in the living room. My bags looked like garbage compared to the fancy furniture in there. I wandered into the kitchen and then into the dining room. Sure enough, there was a piece of paper on the wooden table, held down by an empty glass. Lock the door when you come in. Only answer calls from Marvin. Don't turn on any faucets between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. What is that? Why? Don't turn on any faucets between 9 and 11? What if I had to, wash my hand or something? Well, why? Don't open the door for anyone, no matter who they say they are, after 10 p.m. If the door to the closet at the end of the hall is open, sleep in the library. If closed, sleep in any of the bedrooms. If the gardener comes at midnight, if he starts knocking on the window, hi. Turn the TV on and let it play on static through the night. Do not forget to do this. Help yourself to anything in the fridge. I pay you in the morning. Good night.
Okay, if
That's
I
so
saw this
freaking
list
weird.
of notes at a stranger's house that I'm told to housekeep, I'm fucking terrified.
Would you follow the rules?
Well, yes, if they're that specific.
I mean, I would still follow the rules. I don't
Because, like,
think.
when I first read this, I was like, why does it matter about faucets at 9 to 11 p.m.?
Yeah, that was super weird. I was like, why
But it's
does it?
also, but also specifically as well, why is it that, like, if a closet, like the door closet at the door to the closet at the end of the hall is open, sleep in the library, sleep in any bedrooms. If it's closed, it's like, why does it matter?
I think it's
Like,
like,
why are we playing like as if this is rules to a game? That would set
yeah,
off like 19 alarm bells in my head.
yeah. I was saying like, one of those like the RPG game, right? Like those games that you have to, like those horror game
Mm,
that you like have some of the rules. If you accidentally violate one of these rules and you die.
mm-hmm. All right, so let's go through it just one more time before we continue. Don't
Mm.
answer calls from Marvin. Don't turn on faucets from 9 to 11. Don't open the door for anybody after 10. If the door at the end of the closet, like if the closet at the end is open, sleep in the library. If closed, sleep in the bedroom. If a gardener comes at midnight and he starts knocking on windows, hide from him. Turn the TV on and let it play static throughout the entire night, and then you can help it yourself to anything in the fridge. All right, let's remember that as we continue on.
Damn, this is tough. Alright,
Okay.
I made sure to follow other rules. To be honest, I was regretting my decision, but seeing as I was already here and I was getting paid, I decided to stay away. Moji was following. Thank you so
Hello,
much for the
Mochi.
follow. Hello, thank you so much for the follow. Hi, welcome in. Welcome to your universe. How are you doing? Hello. We are reading r slash nosleep, the Reddit page today, and I think I would, have the chance, have a lot of chances to talk to chat. But I hope you enjoy the story. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
I make sure to follow other rules. To be honest, I was really amazed, and I decided to stay anyway. I figure as long as I followed the rules, I'd be perfectly fine. It's still, it felt a little odd. What was it? A haunted house? Nevertheless, I lounged around the house for a few hours as I was planning on going to sleep around 9 since that's the time that all the weird shit would begin to happen. At 8:30, I brushed my teeth using the faucet for the last time before 9. I checked the closet in the hallway and upon seeing it was open, I've moved my stuff into the library and got ready to sleep on the couch. I locked the door just in case and lay on the couch, scrolling through my phone. I hadn't forgotten any more messages from Jack. And I started to think up to scenarios and any reasons as to why he has such strict particular sets of rules in his house. I had dozen I had dozed off at some point because exactly 10:16 p.m. I was woken up by a doorbell ringing. I was about to get up to check, but I remembered the rule. Don't open the door for anyone, no matter who they say they are, after 10 p.m. I stay on the couch, trying not to move, paranoid that they would hear even the slightest sound.
This is the police. Open up.
I didn't move.
Hello, it's the police. Open up or we're coming in.
I still didn't move, but I could hear my heartbeat in my ears. There was a silence for a while after that. Then the doorbell rang again.
Hey, it's Jack. Let me in.
It sounded like Jack, but still, I didn't get up. He would have a key, wouldn't he? Why would he need me to let him in? This continued for almost a full hour. Different people would ring the doorbell, announce themselves, and then disappear when I didn't respond. I was finally able to fall asleep, but then the gardener never came. And the gardener never came. When I woke up the next morning, I heard someone in the kitchen. I got up slowly and unlocked the door as quietly as possible, taking my phone with me and walking across the living room into the kitchen. I stopped at the entrance and peered in. It was Jack. He was sitting in front of the stove, stirring something as a coffee machine brewed coffee on the counter behind him.
Hey, good morning.
He said as he saw me. Hi, I replied, nervous. I hadn't seen him in person before, but he looked exactly like his picture online.
Scrambled eggs.
He asked, motioning to the pan with a wooden spoon. Yeah, thanks. I replied, walking over to take the plate from him. I ate my breakfast and drank some coffee in silence.
So, how was it?
He asked. It was okay, nothing super freaky happened. I replied.
Ah, cool.
He replied. There was an awkwardness in the room. I think I'm gonna go now. I have class. I trailed off. I did, but I really wanted to get out there.
Oh no, yeah, sure. I'll talk to you some other time.
He replied. I grabbed my stuff and he walked me to my car. I could see him standing in the driveway, staring at me as I left. When I got home, I unpacked all my stuff and noticed that I still had the list with me. I sat on my bed and read it again. I felt my body tense up as I realized that I had forgotten something. Turn the TV on and let it play on static through a night. Do not forget to do this. Turn the TV on and let it play on static through a night. Do not forget to do this. Do not forget to do this. I stared at the words on the page until they lost meaning. Beside me, my phone buzzed, snapping me back to reality. It was a $1,000 payment. I looked at my phone and back the list. Maybe it wasn't an important step. As I was thinking this over, a text from Jack came in.
I'm not in town right now. I should be back next week, so you're free from running any more errands for me until then. Just sent the payment. Go do something fun.
I stared at the message and read it again and again and once more for good measure.
I'm not in town right now.
I thought back to this morning and how Jack was in his house and how he gave me breakfast.
I'm not in town right now.
Within minutes, a new text came in, this time from a number that I didn't recognize.
Did you forget to do something?
The text was followed by a picture of Jack, or whoever this morning Jack was, standing in front of the TV. I didn't respond. The next came another picture. This one was outside of my house. It was followed by another text.
Ciao.
What does that even mean?
And that's the end of the story.
What does that mean?
Oh, she's fucked. She's absolutely dead. But also, somebody stated, so not only did she forget to put on the TV static, there was also another rule she missed, and the top comment pointed this out. Go down, go down.
Go down?
Yeah. No, hold on, go down.
Down more?
Yeah, the top comment there. You forgot two rules, actually. The TV, and you didn't lock the door behind you when you left. It's why the fake Jack was able to follow you.
Why
She
is...
never locked the door when she left the house.
Ah! Wait. 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 Can someone... wait. I don't get it. Why is she dead? Why is the fake Jack in the house?
So,
Why is...
whatever's going on, this guy's dealing with some weird thing.
Mm,
It's something that can seemingly match a person, because like you see all these weird ass rules. Why would any of this matter? And then it's like again, like when it was around 10 p.m., she had people faking being the police. But one thing that was really weird was a dude pretending to have Jack's voice was knocking on the door.
mm.
And then there was just a bunch of other noises and stuff like that. But also, it was the fact is she didn't turn off the TV static, and I'm guessing if I were to give my theory is that for some reason the noise of TV static like either like lulls this being or whatever to stop them from either waking up or doing whatever else. Either this being is inside the house and Jack for some reason keeps them at bay, or it's just a part of some ritual that he has to not have it come into his house. And that rule of the two locked doors, right, is at least if you fucked up, you can lock the door and it can't get outside of the house. But she didn't even do that. So not only did she let this thing wake up, whatever this is, pretending to be Jack, but she also didn't even lock the house properly, so now it's out there looking for her.
I just stretch. Thank you for the stretch reading, Crimson. Hello, hi, welcome in. We are reading our no sleep today, and I won't be able to talk much to chat, but I hope you enjoy the story. Thank you so much for being here. All right, back to the story.
So yeah, is this supposed to be a real story? What No Sleep is it's essentially people recounting a story as if it was a real story, essentially, like a past experience they had or something like that.
Let me look at the list of rules.
No, Yuji, there are no shapeshifters in the real world. Be quiet, Skinwalker. I know what you are, Gwen.
Lock door when you come in. Only answer calls from Marvin. This one. If the door closes, even like Garner. Turn on the TV list. Play on static through the night. Do not forget to do this. Pay in the morning. Good night. Wait, it didn't say that you have to like turn off
Not
the
at this
lights or
moment,
anything.
but before, like one of her first ever tasks was whenever she entered the house, lock the door when she got in, and lock the door when she gets outside of it. And she has to do this.
Mm.
But I like this story. It's very short, but it's very sweet with how it does it.
Damn.
Because it really makes you ask, what the hell is that thing? Because it's clearly something that steals the looks of people, but why? How does it operate? Why does it work the way it does?
Yeah. Okay, comments. The first comment we read that already. Second comment. Let's see how the comments say.
That is a good question. Who the fuck is this Marvin guy? Why is it always Marvin that you gotta be picking up the phone from?
I've been so paranoid. I would have kept reading through the list all night.
Same. Like I'd be like, okay, oh shit, did I forget anything? Hold on.
Yeah. 100% when I have slept too, I would have taken another. What is it? Some kind of
What if
pills.
Marvin is Jack's pseudonym so the fake one doesn't know it's him? Oh, that's a good point, Gwen. That's a good point.
Oh, part two, please. There is no part two.
Alrighty though.
It is coincidence that Julio
So
and the texter both said, "Watch out, maybe this entity tries to harm only at night and Star keeps it out." I think you should contact Jack immediately. OP, tell him what happened. Maybe he can help. Nah.
nah, you fucked up. You fucked up. He
Yeah.
gave you a clear list of what to do. You didn't follow it.
Hmm.
Alright, but what'd you think of the story?
It was good. It was good. I like it.
Okay, are you ready for our next one?
Yep.
Alright, so let's do, I noticed it, go down to, something walks whistling past my house every night at 3:03. I really like this one. This one's a bit longer,
Mm.
but I really like this one. Okay, do you want me to narrate this stuff?
Yep.
Let me get a quick drink of water. It's gonna make me unable to sleep while it's gonna be 1 a.m. Yeah, but that's the best part. It makes you more alert so they don't get you. Every night, no matter the weather, something goes walking down our street, whistling softly. You can only hear it if you're in the living room or the kitchen when they walk by, and it always starts at exactly 3:03 a.m. The sound starts faint, somewhere near the beginning of the lane near the Carson place. We're towards the middle of the street, so the whistling moves past us before fading away in the direction of the cul-de-sac. When I was younger, my sister and I would sneak into the kitchen some nights to listen. Mom and Dad didn't like that, and we'd catch hell if they found us out there. But they were never too hard on us since we always stuck to the one big rule: don't try to look at whatever was whistling. My neighborhood is a funny place. I've lived here since I was 6 and I love it. The houses are small but well kept, good sized yards, plenty of places to roam. There are a lot of other kids here my age. I turned 13 back in October. We grew up together and would always play foursquare in the cul-de-sac and roam around from the back porch to back porch in the summer. This is a good place to grow up. I'm old enough to see it, and there's only two strange things here: the night whistling and the good luck. The whistling never bothered me much. Like I said, I couldn't hear it from my bedroom, but mom and dad don't like talking about it, so I've stopped asking questions. My dad is a strong guy, tall and calm. He has an accent since he moved to the US as a kid. His family, my grandparents, they're from the islands. That's what they call it. My dad, the only time he isn't so calm is if the whistler comes up. He talks a little quicker, eyes moving faster, and he tells us not to think about it so much, and to always remember the one rule, the big rule: do not look outside when the whistler goes past. Not that we could even look if we wanted to. See, there are shutters on the inside of every window, thick pieces of heavy canvas that pull down for the top and latch the bottom of the window frame. Each latch even has a small lock about the size of what you'd find on a diary. My dad locks these shutters every night before we all go to bed and keeps the key in his room. My mom I don't know what she thinks about the whistling. I seen her out in the living room before at 3:03 when the sounds start. I could see her if I crack my door open just a inch to peek. She's not out there often, at least I haven't caught her much. But once or twice a month, I think she sits there on our big red couch, just listening. The Whistler has the same tune every night. It's cheerful. Da da, da da dum, da da, da da da, dum. I would whistle, but Discord, cuts me out. But also, how would you feel like every morning there's just some dude out there whistling? How would you feel about that?
I'd be annoyed.
But like weirdly enough, they have it on like a system. Like every single day, 3:03 on the dot, they always manage to get their whistling off at the time.
That's weird.
I feel kind of impressed, to be honest.
I tell my mom.
Remember how I said there are two odd things about where I live? Well, besides our night whistler, everyone in my neighborhood is really lucky. It's hard to explain, and Dad doesn't like us talking about this part much either. But good things just seem to happen to people around here a lot. Usually it's small things, winning a radio contest, or getting an unexpected promotion at work, or finding some arrowheads buried in the yard, the authentic kind. The weather is pretty good, and there's no crime, and everybody's garden bloom extra bright in the fall. Million little blessings. Oh, that's the mom. You say.
Uh, a million little blessings.
I've heard my mom say about living here. But the main reason we stay here, why we moved here in the first place, is my sister Nola. She was born very sick, something with her lungs. We couldn't even bring her home when she was born. Only visit her in the hospital. She was so small. I remember small and even compared to the other babies. A machine had to breathe for her.
Aww.
Yeah, I've had experience with that. My brother's son had to be
Aww.
hooked up to an oxygen machine. It's
Aww.
it's terrifying. I think I'm gonna have fun anytime. You have a good one, Yuji.
Bye bye, UTF. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Um, but okay, let's see.
Jadak just said Iron Lung Gaming.
Hell yeah.
Welcome in, dog. How's it going?
We moved into our house here to be closer to the hospital. As soon as we moved here, Nola started getting better. The doctors couldn't really figure it out. They chalked it up to whatever they were doing, but we could tell they were all confused. But my parents knew, even I knew, Nola getting better was just another of the million little blessings we got for living in our neighborhood. So that's why we stayed, even after we found out that for every small miracle that happens here every day, now and then, some bad things happen. But only if you look for the whistler. See, our neighbor has a welcoming committee. They show up with macaroni casserole and a gift basket and a manila folder whenever someone new moves in. They're very friendly. 4 people showed up when we moved in 7 years ago. The committee made small talk, gave me a Snickers bar, and took turns holding Nola.
Aw.
It was her first week out, and the hospital, so they were extra careful. Then the committee asked to speak to my parents in private, so I was sent to my room when I managed to hear nearly every word. The welcoming committee told my parents about how nice the neighborhood was. Really exceptionally hard to explain, kind of nice. And then they told my parents about the even harder to explain whistling that happened every morning from 3:03 to that ended at the tick of 3:05. The group, our neighbors, warned my parents that the whistling was quiet, would never harm us or hurt us, as long as we didn't look for whoever or whatever was making the sound. This part they stressed, and I pushed my ear into the door, straining to hear them. People who went looking for the whistler had their luck change, sometimes tragically. A black cloud would hang over anyone that looked. Anything that could go wrong would. The manila envelope the committee brought over contained newspapers clippings, stories about car crashes and ruined lives, public deaths, and even freak accidents. Not everyone dies, I heard the head of the committee tell my dad. But the life goes out of them. Even if they live, there's no light in them ever again. No presence.
Damn.
Could you imagine? Okay, so we have this setup here, right? So it's like you're in this nice little neighborhood.
Mm.
Everything is awesome. Like you like again, they say it like you win radio host scratch off contest. You just had the best of luck. You got on Genshin Impact and you got a 5-star pull every time. But it's just all a bunch of great shit. But they're like, whatever you do, don't you fucking dare look out at 303 when that dude's whistling. Don't look for him. Just let him do his thing. And to think about just even just like that first bit of just if somebody does, they have an example of people who do. If you somehow don't get into a car crash and die, you still look like you've died anyways because of how miserable your life becomes.
Right. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the resubs for 7 months. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't wanna like interrupt Dime while he was
Oh
talking.
yeah.
So it was
Hey
delayed for a
Red.
little bit. Hi Ray. We're reading r/nosleep today. And it's spooky. A little late for the spooky season, but how are you? Hope you've been doing well. I won't be able to talk much to chat because we're, reading, but I hope you enjoy the story. Thank you so much for stopping by and thank you so much for the reset. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Any Twitch primers in chat?
She hates us. Shut up, Jada. Uh,
Well,
yeah, I'm
listen.
also found to go back to work. Oh, gotcha.
Oh, okay. I hope you have
Well,
a
thanks
good
for
day at
stopping by,
work.
broski.
Need to finish
Dime blink
burning.
twice if you need help. Blink, blink,
That is not a blink.
blink, 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 blink,
That's
blink, blink, blink.
you blink 4 times, so he doesn't need help, guys.
That means it doubles up, though. I need double help.
Have a fun stream and enjoy. Thank you so much for stopping by, Ray. I hope
Whatever
you.
you do not look at the chocolate cat right in the eyes. Don't do it. Don't do it, chat.
I hope your project turns well by Monday. Thank you so much for the resub.
Even if you wake up at 4 a.m. and you see something in the corner of your room, do not look her in the eyes.
Why? I'm not gonna hurt you.
Oh, listen to her chat.
I mean,
Okay.
just imagine if I play a gacha game and I got like 5 stars pull every time. In return, I just don't look for the whistler. I will never look for any whistler in the town. Like never, ever, ever, ever.
Honestly, same. I'm like, if my life's going this good, props to him. I'll let him do his thing.
Yeah.
All right. My mom, I could tell she wasn't taking it seriously. She kept asking if this was some kind of prank they play on the new neighbors. At one point, my mom got angry, accused the committee of trying to scare us out of our new home, asked them if they were racist on account of my dad being from the islands. My dad calmed her down, told her he could tell our new neighbors were sincere and they were just trying to help us. He explained that he grew up hearing these kinds of stories from his mom and that he knew there were strange things that walked among us. Uh, um, um, um,
Mama,
um,
mama.
uh, some of those strange things were good and some were bad, but most were just different. After the committee left, Dad went out of the hardware store, bought the canvas lids, the latches, and the locks, and installed them on every window in the house after dinner. The first night in our new house, I crept out of my room at 3 a.m. only to see my dad was awake on the living room couch holding my baby sister. My dad held up his finger in a shh motion, but patted the couch next to him. I sat, and we waited. At exactly 3:03, we heard the whistling. Da da, da da da, da dum. Da da, da da da, da dum. Also, hold on, I'm gonna send you something, Yenny.
Mm.
all I'm reminded of is this whenever I see it spelled out like that. Just play that real quick. It's just 14 seconds. Play that.
Wait, but I don't know. Wait, hold on. What's that? Oh my god! I hate you.
That's all I'm imagining. Like whenever he goes by. Uh
The stream hears it, by the way.
oh yeah, I know.
Okay, continue.
It came and it just went like our neighbors said. The whistling returns each night, and we never look, and we enjoy our million little blessings every day. Nola breathes on her own, and she's grown into a strong, clever girl. My dad even joined the welcoming committee. We don't get new neighbors often. Why would anyone want to leave? But when a new family moves in, my dad and the committee bring them the macaroni casserole, a gift basket, and a manila folder. I can
Oh,
always tell by the look on my dad's face when he comes back if the family took the community seriously, or if we'd be getting new neighbors again very soon. Oh, that is such an ominous fucking statement.
you're right.
Like just like comes back and is just like, yeah, they're dead, son.
Oh my. Yeah, they didn't pass the vibe check.
You didn't pass the whistle check. Not long ago, a family moved in directly next to us. The previous owner, Miss Maddie, passed away from old age at age 105. Honestly, good for her.
Yeah.
105. Damn. She lived a long, good life. Our new neighbors seemed like they fit in just fine. They believed the welcoming committee, took my dad's advice about locking the shutters since they had a young child of their own. Whatever newspaper clippings were in the manila envelope, whatever evidence, my dad never lets us see. But I imagine it must have been awfully convincing since our neighbors got along with no issues for the first month. One night, when our new neighbors had to leave town, they sent their son, Holden, to stay with us. He was 12, a year under me in school. I didn't know him well before that night, but as soon as his parents dropped him off after dinner, I could tell it was going to be a bad time. Do you know who's always out there whistling every night? Holden asked the moment the adults left the room. The three of us sitting in the den, some Disney movies playing idly on the television. My sister and I exchanged a glance. Uh,
We don't talk
uh,
about that.
yeah.
Oh, is
I think, yeah, it's fine. You voice them.
Mm.
Mm-mm. I think it's that weirdo that lives in that big yellow house in the corner. Holden said.
Mr. Toes? Toes? How do you how did you
Yeah, I think it's Mr. Tolls.
Mr. Toes? And my sister
Yeah.
my
Go ahead.
sister asked, no way, he's really nice.
Holden shrugged. Yeah, it must be a psycho killer then. Nola tensed.
We don't talk about it. I repeated, let's go in my room and play Nintendo.
Also, I will say, well, what kid says let's play Nintendo? Nah, motherfucker, we playing the SNES. Nobody says Nintendo. We playing on the Wii. I'm gonna kick your ass at bowling.
J-Dog.
Yeah, I saw it. Fuck it. Yeah, I'm just like reading. I see Holden D's nuts on the bottom left as I'm trying to read a lot. We spent the next few hours playing games, eating popcorn, and then watching movies. A typical sleepover, but I could see Holden was getting antsy. After my parents had wished us good night, locked the blinds, and gone to bed, Holden stood up from his beanbag and walked over to where Nola and I were sitting on my bed. Have you ever tried looking? He asked. It's nearly time. Like most sleepovers, we'd conveniently ignored any suggestion of a bedtime. I was shocked to see he was right. It was almost 3 a.m. I sighed.
We don't.
See, I can't. I can't even look because my dad locks the blinds every night and hides the key. He continued, ignoring me.
So does our dad. Is that Nola?
Yeah. No, replied Holden. No, he doesn't.
You saw him do it. I said, a little sharpened that I meant to sound.
Holden grinned. Your dad locks the blinds, yeah, but he doesn't hide the key. He keeps it in the right on his normal keychain.
So?
I asked, worried. I already knew what he was going to say next, because I noticed that my dad didn't bother hiding the keys anymore after all these years. Because he knew we took it seriously. Little stupid motherfucker. So, after your dad locked up before your parents went to bed, I went to the bathroom, and on my way, I had peeked into their room. And I may have gotten your dad's keychain on his nightstand, and I maybe went to borrow the key to the blinds. Noel and I stared at his grin only grew wider.
You're lying, I said.
Holden shrugged. You can check if you want. Just open your parents' door and look. You'll see his keychain right there on the nightstand.
Stay here, I told both them. Don't move a muscle.
I hurried over to my parents' room, but hesitated at the door. If Holden wasn't lying, my dad was going to be angry. Beyond angry. I was scared thinking about it, but more of an open window with the whistler right outside. I opened the door barely an inch, and I looked at it. Was too dark to see. Taking a deep breath, I walked in the room. 2 steps into the dark, I froze. The whistling started, and I could hear it clearly from my parents' room. I never realized, but they must have heard that sound every night since we came into the house. They never told us. I don't think I could have slept through it. I stood there listening to the whistling come closer, unsure whether I should turn on a light or call out for my dad. Soft sounds from the living room brought me back to reality.
Nola!
I yelled, running out of my parents' room. Holden and Nola were standing near the front door next to the window. Holden wasn't lying. I could see him fumbling with the lock on one of the blinds. I heard a click. He did have the key. Holden let out a quick laugh. Nola next to him, hunched up, afraid but maybe curious. The whistling was right outside of our house now. I think I made a sound, called out. I can't remember. Time felt frozen, clock hands nailed to the face. But I found myself moving. I'm not fast. I've never been athletic. Somehow, though, I covered the space between myself and Nola in a moment. My eyes were locked on her, but I heard Holden pull the blind all the way down so it could release. I heard the snap of it start to raise, and I heard the whistling just the side of the window. But I had my arms around Nola, and I turned us so she was facing away from the window. At the same time, I jammed my eyes shut. The blind whipped open. The whistling stopped. I felt Nola shaking in my arms.
Don't look okay, I told
I,
her.
t-
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I told her.
Don't turn around.
We were positioned so that she was facing back towards the hallway and I was facing the window. My eyes were still closed. I felt her nod in my shoulder. I reached out with the arm not holding Nola and tried to touch Holden. My hand brushed against his arm. He was shaking worse than Nola. Holden? I asked. Silence. I reached past him and gingerly felt for the window, eyes still sealed shut. The glass was cold against my fingertips, colder than it should have been for the time of the year. I moved my hand up the window, searching for the string of the blind. The glass began to get warmer the further I reached, and there was a gentle hum feeding back into my fingertips. I tried not to think about what might be on the other side of that window. Finally, I touched the string and yanked the blind shut. I opened my eyes, and the dim light leaking out from the kitchen. I could make out Holden, pale and small, staring at the now closed window.
Holden?
He turned towards me and he screamed.
Huh?
Everything became a flurry of motion. Life sparked to life in the hall, then the living room. My parents' footsteps thudded across the hardwood floor. I didn't turn to look back at them. My eyes were glued to Holden. He was pale. He had bit his lip so hard that there was a thin red line of blood running down his chin, and he had wet himself.
What
What?
happened? Oh, sorry.
What happened? My dad asked from behind me. I managed to swivel away from Holden and look back.
He looked.
I'd never seen my dad so scared before, but I saw it that night. In that moment, an old, ugly terror stitched across his face, a parent's fear. Just Holden, he mouthed to me. I nodded yes. My dad let out a breath. He looked so relieved, I nearly expected him to cheer. But then he turned to Holden, and my dad's face changed. I wonder if he felt bad for feeling good that Holden was the only one that looked. There was a knock at the door, and we all froze. Holden whimpered. So hold on. Before
We
we continue
have,
with this,
yeah, we have ads in like a few seconds. So I think we
we
continue
could,
that after
yeah,
the ad.
yeah, we could discuss this a bit as it's going on because I think it's just J Dog and people who are subbed anyways right now.
Mm-hmm.
But well, Sun Halo might be here, but we won't discuss anything way too important, Sun. You'll be fine.
Yep.
I'm gonna go sleep. Just don't look out the window, son.
Look out the window and you see Yanni. And you know you get a good night's
That's even
sleep.
worse.
Alright.
Oh, good, son. But so what
Yeah.
are you thinking so far, though? Like of that, just as soon as he opened up the blind, the whistling just stopped.
I think. Wait, but there is an ad going on.
Mhm.
So we're gonna take a short break.
Break these nuts.
Yeah. What?
It's nuts.
No.
What?
We'll be back! Did
Baba
you?
booey, baba booey. All right. Welcome back, chat.
Welcome back, everyone, from the ads. What were we talking about? What are we talking about?
Drinking water. Hold on.
What? Time?
Drinking water.
Okay.
Okay.
What were you talking about? Oh yeah, that one guy.
So the dumbass neighbor's kid, Holden,
Mm-hmm.
looked out the shutter
Mm-hmm.
and saw the whistler. And
Mm-hmm.
as soon as he did, the whistling instantly stopped. Which
I'm
the
thinking
fact that it was so terrifying to Holden that he bit his lip so hard that he started bleeding. And he's like pale white
Mm-hmm.
after seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, holy shit. What did this thing look like?
I think it's like a monster.
I imagine it's a monster, but here's the thing, it's just like, do you think it looks weirdly human? Is the thing that interests me, because it whistles.
I don't think it
And it
looks human.
is what I'm imagining, right? Is like, imagine kind of like, what I'm imagining is, imagine kind of like a very thin man, like
Mm.
super tall,
Mm.
gangly limbs, like arms that look way longer than they should be, but its face is just contorted. Like eyes are in places where they shouldn't be. The mouth is like creased upwards and stuff like that. Like it does not look like a face that anybody should be having, and it's just staring
Ah,
you. It's just, you imagine you're a 12-year-old, and you just see that staring back at you.
that would be terrifying.
But yeah, also just like, because like I get the father here, because like he's like just Holden, right? And
Mm.
like suddenly like he even said like a breath of relief is because like I'd be the same way. I'd be like, did my kids see that thing before the neighbor's kid? Right? It's just like, did my kids see that thing though? Are they safe?
Right? Because I mean, the brat, the neighbor brat fucked up. It doesn't really. It's not my fault, guys. It's not
Like I
my
feel
kid's
awful for
fault.
the kid, but it's like at least my kids are potentially. That's the biggest thing about this though that'd be running through my mind. They're potentially sick because here's the biggest thing that's running through my mind. If somebody sees it in the house, does everybody else who was in the house at the same time get punished?
Oh yeah.
All right, go up a bit. You ready to continue?
Yep. Don't answer it. Don't answer it. My mom said.
She stood at the threshold. Hold on, I need to pull something up real quick.
Mama, 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 mama,
There it
mama,
is.
mama.
Okay. She stood there at the threshold of the hall. I'd always thought she was a skeptic and just humored my dad about the windows and the whistler, but that night they were all believers. I noticed that both of my parents both held baseball bats. They must have taken it from their bedroom. The knock came again. A little louder this time. Please don't open the door, Holden whimpered. My dad walked over to him, hugged him close. We won't, my dad promised, still holding his bat. Nothing is coming in here tonight. Thud, thud, thud. This time the knocking was loud enough to rattle the door. Holden screamed again, and Nola clutched her arms around my neck. My mom came over and knelt down next to us, wrapping my sister and me close. Thud, thud, thud.
Call the police.
My mom whispered to my dad. The knocking instantly stopped. My dad looked over his shoulder at us. Do you think he was cut off by frantic knocking that trailed off to a polite tap, tap, tap? Police! Something said on the other side of the door. The voice from the outside sounded exactly like my mom, like a parrot repeating the words back to her. I guess you see this one, Yenny.
Oh Call the police.
Tap, tap, tap.
Police.
My mom pulled us closer.
Police. 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 Please stop.
I heard her whisper. I don't think calling them will help, my dad said. How will we know that they're the ones at the door? The knocking came back harder than before. The door shook. Then it stopped, and after a long moment, I heard the knocking again, but it was coming from our back door. We all turned towards the back door, but the knocking immediately returned to the front door, front to back to front, loud then quiet, then loud again. Suddenly, the sound was coming from both doors at once, big, heavy blows like a sledgehammer.
Oh.
Then something started scraping against all the windows in the house, then the walls. It was like we were living inside a drum with a dozen people trying to play all at once, or we were a turtle or something was attempting to claw us out of our shell. Stop! Holden yelled, and the knocking died. I won't tell, Holden said, staring at the door. I promise I won't tell anyone what I saw. Just please go away. We waited for nearly a minute, and then we heard it again. Another soft tap, 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 coming from the window Holden had looked through earlier. Holden had started to cry, sobbing like a prisoner watching gallows being built around their cell.
Yeah.
My dad held him, brushed his hair, but he never lied to him. He never told him things like it would be okay. The tapping at the window went on for the rest of the night. We huddled together in our living room for I don't know how long. Eventually, my mom tried to take us kids into my room while my dad stayed to watch the door. But the second we moved into my bedroom, the knocking came back so loud it was impossible to ignore. I was afraid the door couldn't take it. We went back to the living room and the knocking stopped. Only the tap, tap, tap on the window remained. None of us slept that night.
Oh my
The
god.
tapping stopped around 7 a.m. That's about the time the sun comes up here. We waited another 2 hours before my dad opened the blinds from one window. He made us all go back to my parents' bedroom first. I heard him open the door and then come back in. Okay, he told us. It's done. Holden's parents came back around lunchtime. My mom and dad walked Holden over to his house, and they all went inside for quite a while. Nola and I watched from the window. She stuck to me the whole day, right at my side, sometimes holding my hand. When my parents came back, they looked grim, but wouldn't tell us what they said to Holden's family. It was a Sunday, so we all spent it together, ordered pizza, and watched movies. That night, everyone slept in my room. Nola and my mom in the bed with me. My dad in a chair he'd pulled over. There was no knocking that night or any night since. We didn't see much of Holden or his parents for the rest of that week, but by Thursday, there was a moving truck in their driveway. Nola and I watched them packing up the whole afternoon after school. What sticks to me the most is how tired Holden and his parents looked. All three had the same pallor, grim mouths, and lightless eyes. Even from
Oh.
across the street, I could tell something was very wrong. Holden and his family were gone before sunset. I remember what the original welcoming committee said to my parents when we moved in. Not everyone who looks at the Whistler dies, but even those that live have the light go out of them, and the rest of their lives are full of misfortune, a million little tragedies. I think Holden's parents must have looked either to comfort him, if they didn't believe, or share the burden if they did. I watch Nola some days, happy and young and alive, and I'd wonder if I had been slower, if she had looked out that window that night, would I have looked too? To comfort her? To share that burden? I'm glad that I didn't have to find out. We still live in that house, in that neighborhood. We still hear our whistler walking past every night. The blessings, the luck, the good things that are too good to leave. But we're careful. We don't have friends spend the night anymore. And my dad hides the key in the blinds very, very well. Not that I've gone looking. some things you just don't need to look for.
Oh my goodness.
And that's the end of our tale.
Yay! Oh my gosh, that's such a good story.
No, it's so good. Bro, why even have windows at that point? That's true, J-Dog. But at that point, just close up all the windows. Just why do you need to spend extra cost to knock it down?
Yeah,
But
build like 2 layers of curtains or something.
just put a metal block.
Yeah, put a metal block on the window.
But God, I love how fucking horrifying that sounds. Just imagine that. Just this kid had done something, this stupid neighbor's kid,
Mm-hmm.
did something out of curiosity, and he did the one thing you should never do in this neighborhood. He is like white as a ghost, terrified out of his mind at the what he had just saw. And then just after that, suddenly you hear knocking on your door, but not
Mm-hmm.
just your door, your back door, your windows, everything. It goes from like little tap tap taps to suddenly it feels like somebody's slamming a desk every minute in your ears.
Mm-hmm.
And probably the most terrifying part was the fact that it sounded like the mom for a minute, just to try to see if it could trick them. I think that's the most horrifying part. It didn't do it a bunch, but could imagine that it's just like you're telling something to stop, and then it tells you the word police in your own voice back to you. How would you feel?
I would shit my pants.
Yeah, and it's just like also what it said it earlier about like when the kid was trying to pull back down the blinds.
Mm-hmm.
When he first put his hand to the window, it was practically freezing cold,
Mm-hmm.
and then it got warmer as he went up. So this
Mm-hmm.
thing, whatever it is has like something to it so horrifying that it practically freezes everything that's around it.
That's true.
But also think about it, because like here's something that's also horrifying to think about: is it super quick or is it really fucking big? Because it was knocking at 3
Oh.
different places at once.
Oh.
So if you tried running, if it's super quick, you're never getting away from it. It can get to you however quickly it wants to if it genuinely wanted to kill somebody. And it's just almost interesting that it almost those who do break its rule, that it almost treats them like kind of like not prey, but almost like as if it's toying with their prey. Because again, it's like you get a million little blessings,
Mm-hmm.
but if you look at it, you get a million little tragedies. It does everything in its power to make you miserable from that point for the rest of your life.
That's true. I'd rather just don't look. Cause why
Oh,
would you do that, right?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Why would you do that, right? If you have, like, just say you have a million blessings by just don't do anything and just don't do anything. I I think the part that the brat just trying to like trying to break the rules and look at it, it's just very I get annoyed by it.
It's very interesting though, because like, do you think this creature, whatever it is, do you
Mm.
think it's evil, or do you think it's like it's almost like a deity where it's like you follow the rules, you're fine by my kingdom, but if you don't, you get punished to my own version of what hell should be for you.
Wait, that's a very good question to think about, right?
Because this thing feels like a deity or like something on that level. Because it's just like it's again like we saw like it was able to mimic people's voices
Mm.
instantly. Like it made the sound of the mon's voice perfectly, but also was able to knock it 3 places at once on a very big house. So it feels like it's almost all encompassing. Like this entire, I guess, in a sense, what I think is this entire neighborhood, right?
Mm.
It's one living being, and the Whistler's just like a part of it.
Wait, what?
Like
The
I'm thinking like the Whistler isn't just like, just some like decently tall entity or something like that. The everywhere these houses are put on, right, in this neighborhood, they're all on one just big living being, and the Whistler's just like, let's say, a finger of it. Like that's how big we're talking.
damn. But if he is that big, if he is that big, then if he is that big, then if the kid only see one part of him, right? When he opened the window,
Yeah.
and that is that much terrifying. Um,
It's everywhere all at once. That's why everyone hears the same thing at 3 a.m. And if you see it, you look, you see it. Well, that's the thing, how it describes it, because I don't think you were here at the beginning, J Dog. It says that it starts off from, like, let's say the left side of the neighborhood, and then it passes by to the right side of the neighborhood, is how people hear the whistling.
if I have a video doorbell, I already
So,
lost this
like,
fight. Read the comments.
that's true. Imagine that. Just like have a ring doorbell. Yeah, who's it? Fuck.
Right? Imagine.
It's either that or he just gets pissed at your video camera, just punches out your fucking doorbell.
Um,
Yeah, it's either how I'd interpret this creature is like it is maybe just a decently tall being
mm-hmm.
that's just super quick or like horrifyingly quick or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or genuinely the neighborhood is one giant living being and the Whistler's just a part of that being.
That is so weird.
Damn, I sent you a DM, Will. Hold on. Get the fuck out of here, J-Dog. Why does it have the little crayon?
It is very
Yeah.
wise men to take this seriously. My grandparents live in a village in Malaysia, and we have similar stories. Wherever we go into the forest, we have a saying that asks the spirit to grant us a safe passage and forgive our disturbance. Foreigners who do not say this have bad things happen to them quite often. I think there's too much of a coincidence that so many cultures have such beliefs if there isn't any truth to it.
That is always interesting, like very much tribal or like native cultures and stuff like that. Because I know native cultures, from what I hear of and stuff like that, they have like their own, religions and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
rather than it being like Christianity, where like a god is like essentially like this all-encompassing being that watches over the world, it's more like the land itself is to be respected and treated as like a great deity, something that you need to respect, and they will respect you back. And if you don't do that, then horrible shit will happen to you. You have to respect the nature itself around you.
Oh. Do you believe that? Do people believe it? Do chat believe it?
That's always the thing to me. It's like there's always the skeptic part of my brain that's like, maybe it's just overly suspicious people. But it says people say there's too many stories of stuff like this happening that it almost feels like maybe it does happen, but it's very smaller, isolated incidents. Ooh,
Interesting.
Skinwalker Ranch.
Hello, Stinky.
What else?
Hi, welcome in. We're reading r/nosleep today, and we're just reading and discussing these stories. I wouldn't um have a lot of chances to talk to chat, but I hope you enjoy the story. Thank you so much for stopping by.
I used to drive home late at night and saw some weird shit. I can believe it. Like, I feel like there's some weird unexplained shit about our planet. Whether it's actually deities or not can be to be determined, but I think it'd be interesting if it was.
Personally, I have never encountered any of these weird stories,
Mhm.
but I heard it from like relatives and everything, and it sounds so real. I don't know if I
Mhm.
should believe it or not, but like it just sounded very real.
I remember my brother,
Mm-hmm.
he used to live with his family uh at this like townhome or something like that, but he remembers as a kid, like after a week or so, he had nightmares practically every night without fail.
Mm.
But another thing that caught him off guard was the fact that his cat always seemed to be like concerned or even angry at something down the stairs towards the basement of the place.
Ah.
And he could have sworn like because like this was when he was a kid, but he could have sworn that he always saw like some type of shadow that looked off that wasn't a part of the house.
Ah.
Um, and it was found later that when he and his family left, that apparently that house was built around a Native American like it was either Native American or some type of like native tribe, but it was by a burial ground
Mm.
of like natives that used to be at that place.
Ah.
Probably the freakiest thing was what looked like a really large dog on the side of the road. All I could see was a black object that I thought was a dog, and then when I drove closer to it, it disappeared. Holy shit, that would spook the fuck out of me, J Dog.
I was saying that, like, if that your like if your pet or like if the animals can like I think they can see something with their eyes because when
Like they,
if
they
because when like your pets tell you not to go somewhere, you should listen to them.
oh yeah,
Actually.
they always seem to have a sense for stuff. Like after all, like that's always the thing about dogs, cats, and stuff like that. Why I like kind of have a belief of the spiritual stuff, but it's like because like they always notice stuff that we don't notice that well. Like an example is like if cats and dogs and such can understand an earthquake or something like that is happening
Mm-hmm.
way before even a seismograph notices it,
Mm-hmm.
I could genuinely believe they see a ghost or some type of spirit
Mm-hmm.
that we couldn't perceive.
Do you think kids can see it like children? I think
I think
like
maybe like that's always the thing that's always debatable to me because like kids can have very wild imaginations
oh
genuinely,
wait.
but it's also like a child when you think about it, right?
Mm.
Is when you grow up into an adult,
Mm.
your mind is always made to grasp things more logically, always try to like have an explanation to something.
Mm.
But a kid, they're a lot more open to stuff. They always ask why or stuff like that, but they're always curious. So I could genuinely believe that if there was ever a spirit in our world or stuff like that, a
Mm.
kid could see it because their mind would not try to shut that down. Instead, it'd be interested to perceive what's going on rather than shutting it down with logic.
I was Damn, I was gonna say that like I think I heard something that they say that because like the child when you were a child your soul is very pure. So that's why
Mhm.
you are able to see all of these ghosts and the spirits and everything. I have a story when I was a child. Like I don't remember it that much, but it was very strange to me. I think I
Mhm.
was like 4 or 5, uh maybe somewhere around 4 or 5 years old. I went over to my uncle's house and we were playing by the yard. Like he has a very large yard in front of his house. So we
Mhm.
were playing with other kids, right?
Yeah.
And our I think I it was our mom or like my aunt. I don't remember. So someone like called the kids inside and they like, hey, it's lunchtime. So we went inside and then I was the only one. I was the only like kid that remained outside because I don't remember. I think we were building like a sand castle or something. And I was like, just let me just give me a few minutes. I finished like I almost finished the castle. So I was the only kid that left outside the yard when the other kids already like went inside the house to eat lunch.
Mhm.
And I saw on the stairs, like because my uncle's house they built it on the high ground. So like if you have these stairs to come down to the yard, and then you have to climb up those stairs to like go inside the house, right?
Yeah.
So I look at the stairs and I saw a black figure. Like they were like they are very tall. They look like an old man. Like they are very tall. They were wearing like a black coat with like with a also like a black hat. I
Okay.
couldn't see their face. I thought that was like one of my uncle's guests or something, so I didn't think much of it. It was over a very tall figure in a black coat on the stairs.
Ugh.
I looked at it. I looked at him. I mean, I looked at the figure. I don't know it's him or she. Is a he or she? But I just looked at the figure. I thought it was a. Oh, maybe that's like one of the guests. I didn't think much of it. And then after finishing my sandcastle, I went inside the house and I told my mom. I think I told my mom or my aunt. I don't remember. I told someone. This is I told an adult that like uh there's a guest in outside the house. I saw a guest outside the house, and my mom's like, what guest? And we went back to the yard, like to the stairs, and no one was there.
Oh, that's fucking
No
terrifying.
one was there. I remember that one because it was very strange to me. But as a kid, I just thought like, oh, maybe they left and they went back home. Maybe they decided not to visit anymore or something. But now
Mhm.
thinking back of it, I was like, oh, like I didn't see its face. I didn't see. I don't know if it's like a human or not. Just like a very tall black figure in a coat and a hat, which is also black. Like they are black from head to
The thing
toe.
is, I'll touch to that in a sec because I do want to read the comments because they're starting to sprawl on a bit.
Mm.
On frequency. Well, actually, I believe 5 days ago at 2 a.m. in the night, I was washing my hands in my mirror. I saw something black and little run behind me. I don't know what it was. That's just Jerry, dude. He just wants your floss picks. He has really bad dental hygiene. Don't
Oh
worry about
my
him.
gosh.
Okay. Oh my god, you reminded me of a terrifying experience I had when I was home alone with my cat. It was really late at night, and I was
Mhm.
in my kitchen. There was a
Mhm.
big glass door that goes to the deck, and all of a sudden, I looked at my cat, and her tail was huge, fluffed up like there was a predator nearby. And she was just looking up into the blackness of the night. To this
Mhm.
day, I never found out what was outside. I hauled ass to my room. Dude, I would run the fuck back to my room too. Holy shit. But your story interests me a bit, Yenny, because I do know on that side of the world that isn't unusual for kids. Because
Really?
where I first heard of this was there was a game for the PlayStation 1 called LSD Dream Emulator.
Mm.
And it was made by a dude and his team where they would write down stuff that happened in their dreams and then they would put it into a game.
Mm.
One of the most interesting things is in those places it's like a bunch of weird ass worlds. Like you would see like weird like buildings with just street lamps and nothing more to them.
Mm.
But what people do recognize from that game a lot is the man in the black hat.
Mhm.
And it's, as you just described it, a tall man with a black coat and a black hat.
Mhm.
Um, and it's believed that a lot of people on that side of the world, when they were younger, saw some weird, tall, dark figure with a black hat and a black coat.
Mhm.
They don't know what his intentions were or what its intentions were, but they always just noticed that either outside the vision or maybe even right in front of them, there'd just be this tall dude who would just watch them.
Oh,
So
but
I think it's really interesting that you encountered something like that. That's also been known to for several people to have seen the same thing in their childhood.
oh really?
Hmm. Like that's not even a joke. I'm not like feeding into anything. That's genuinely a thing I hear about.
Huh. Interesting. But it didn't watch me. I don't know if it watched
Hmm.
me or not. Like I just saw it very like I saw the hat cover all the face. So
Hmm.
I don't know if it watched me or not. I don't think like because the way it's facing is facing to the door of the house
Hmm.
and not like I'm like on the playground like it on like the other side.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it watched me or not. I just saw it and I didn't
Hmm.
think like I saw it for like a second for 2 seconds. I thought, oh, maybe they're like one of the guests is visiting, and I don't think much of it.
Hmm.
God damn! Wow. Wait, but
All,
is there any special meaning for if you see the man in the in a black hat and a black coat?
I don't remember enough if there is, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go back a page, and this will likely be a dip in quality of stuff, but let's go back to the top.
Take it off.
Uh, click on top that says, well, not top there. Click on all time. Let's do this month. Let's just see if there's any that interests us. My Uncle Matt never existed. I found my classmate's YouTube channel. She's been missing for years. I found my little sister's diary. I wish I hadn't. Growing up, we were never allowed to look at grandma during her golden hour. I wish I never found out why that. Every year we play a game where we write secrets and guess whose name this year's. That one just sounds cheesy as fuck. I got my partner looking through my phone. Now he won't quit accusing me of having an office boyfriend. I used to
Office.
cook for a Hollywood for Israel. Let's see, 8. Fuck HIPAA.
What
Work
is
at an IT.
HIPAA?
I don't know. I work in IT department and found this email in the drafts of folders are missing. My neighbor has been beckoning my children from his window at night. Oh. Uh, my local radio station has been announcing things for a while now. What the fuck is HIPAA? Why are we seeing this a second time? It's basically so healthcare people can't leak client information. Gotcha. Uh, for my 12th birthday, my dad surprised me with 2 real life mermaids. That's
Mermaid?
fucking weird. Uh, HIPAA stands for Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, a federal law that protects the security and confidentiality of personal health information. Ah, okay. 4 days ago, my missing son returned. Only I don't have a son.
Oh.
Um, all right. Emergency alert! Don't look at the sky. I'm a snuff film superstar, but I'm starting to worry about the attention I'm getting. Yeah, you're a snuff film superstar. You should be worried about the fact you have that
What does
as your
snuffy
profession.
mean?
Blood.
Then
At least I think snuff is blood, unless that snuff is just like hardcore porn. But I think snuff is blood. Uh, I went cave exploring with some friends. I'm the only one that survived. I know what I saw. Okay, let's scroll back up to the top. Let's do this year. Some of these are like seemingly kind of cool looking, but I'm not fully sold on them. That my boyfriend was the love of my life until I discovered he was drugging me at night. Ugh.
ew.
My roommate has been in the shower for more than 4 hours. Bro, he wants to become one with the sea.
Why is that a title for
I
no
think snuff is furry. It's definitely not furry, J Dog. Never mind, it's something with murder. Gross. Yeah. There is a customer none of us are allowed to serve. Huh. The only other astronaut on this mission died 6 weeks ago, but the computer insists their life sensors are still stable. There's only 5 of us in this camping tree. We keep counting 6. Ooh.
Yikes.
All right, Annie, you randomly pick one.
Can we go back to this month? I wanted to pick uh do I this one.
This might be a bit cheesy, but we'll see.
Cheesy?
Okay. It'll probably be a bit cheesy. The thing is, like, think about r/slash no sleep. While we have great stories like that, there's some others I'm just like, oh, okay, this is a little corny. But we'll see. Hopefully this is fun.
Do I read it?
Up to you. Do you want to narrate? Well, hold on. Scroll down a bit. Okay, this doesn't seem like it's that long. Yeah. Go to the top. Let's have you go for it.
I read it?
Yeah.
Okay. It started as an innocent rabbit hole on YouTube. I've been scrolling aimlessly through suggested videos and videos late at night when her face stopped me cold. Samantha. She's been missing for over 3 years. Our whole high school had been shaken to the core when she disappeared without a trace. Posters went uptown, search parties were organized, and theories swirled. Maybe she ran away or maybe something worse. Eventually, people moved on. But seeing her face in the thumbnail of a makeup tutorial froze me. The video title read, Soft.
Soft glam look that'll make him love you. Kissy mark.
It had to be her. The same fiery
Yeah, fiery.
fiery red hair, the same piercing green eyes, but something about her looked off. Her skin was too pale, her smile too stiff. I clicked the video. The intro was bubbly and upbeat. Hey, lovelies! Samantha chirp,
Yes, chirped.
brushing her hair back. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to do a soft clam look that's just to die for. That voice, it was definitely her, but there was something robotic about her delivery, as though someone had written a script for her and she was forcing herself to sound cheerful. Her movements were too precise, almost unnatural, as if she were a puppet on a string. I kept watching, trying to ignore the growing chill running down my spine. Halfway through the video, when she started blending her eyeshadow, her hand slipped, smearing dark powder across her cheek. She froze for a second, her bright, toothy smile faltered, and she looked directly to the camera into me. Her eyes weren't just green, they were bloodshot, filled with an almost
Imperceptible.
imperceptible plea for help. Her video glitched for a moment and then it resumed. She was smiling again, the smudge gone, as if it had never happened. I clicked on her channel. There was dozens of videos. They all followed the same formula. Samantha doing her makeup, offering tips, and giving unnervingly cheerful commentary. But the more I watched, the more I noticed cracks, shadows moved in the background where there shouldn't have been any. Faint whispers occasionally blend into the audio, and then there were her eyes, which sometimes darted to the side as if checking for someone or something just off screen. The strangest part, the upload days. The first video has been posted 2 weeks after she went missing. My heart raced as I scrolled through the comments. Most were from people praising her makeup skills, but occasionally there were odd ones. Why does she look so scared? Anyone else hear the crying in the background at 3:17?
Yeah.
This channel gives me creeps. Something's wrong. I decided to dig deeper. I downloaded one of her videos and ran it through audio software, amplifying the background noise. What I heard make my stomach churn. soft, muffling sobbing. And beneath that, a voice deep, gravelly, and angry.
Keep smiling or else.
I slammed my laptop shut and tried to shake off the creeping dread, but I couldn't let it go. I needed answers. Next day, I skipped class and drove to her old house. Her parents had moved away after the disappearance, but the house still empty. For sale sign swaying in the overgrown yard. I parked across the street and stared at the dark windows, trying to peer together to what to do next. My phone buzzed a notification from YouTube. Samantha had just uploaded a new video. The title made my blood run cold.
Special guest does my makeup.
I clicked it. The video started normally with Samantha smiling brightly at the camera, and then she said, I have someone very special with me today. Say hi! The camera panned to the guest. It was me! My heart stopped as I stared at the screen. There I was, sitting stiffly next to her, my face pale, expressionless. She picked up a makeup brush and started applying blush to my cheek, giggling like nothing was wrong. You're such a great model, she said, her voice trembling slightly. The version of me in the video didn't react. I just sat there, staring blankly ahead. I scrambled to pause the video, but my phone froze. Screen flickered and the video glitched. Samantha's face wrapping into something grotesque. Her smile
Yes.
test. Her smile stretching impossibly wide, her eyes hollowing into dark voids. Then the video ended abruptly. Before I could process what I just seen, my phone buzzed again. A notification, a comment from on the video from Samantha. See you soon.
Okay. Hmm.
First comment, you should start a reaction channel on YouTube.
Hey guys, I found this weird channel. It was me. It's interesting though, because I can tell what this is based off
This is what?
of. This definitely got inspiration from something.
Mm.
Um, there was this YouTube channel that creeped a lot of people out like several years ago. It was a mukbang channel.
Mm-hmm.
There was this woman who just like slurped down like tentacles of like octopus and stuff like that. Just ate a bunch of shit.
Okay.
Um, but what was weird is she was blindfolded. Um,
Why?
but it just seemed like I think like sometimes she was blindfolded, sometimes not. I think she was blindfolded, if I'm remembering correctly. But she just ate a bunch of stuff like that. It seemed like oh, it was just a weird, quirky ass, But then people noticed like as videos went on, she was weirdly a lot more fidgety. Like she was like weirdly like shaky.
Okay.
And then they noticed sometimes on certain videos that she had bruises on her face, or like a bruise somewhere on like one of her fingers.
Ah.
Um, and it really felt like somebody was telling her to do this stuff rather than this was a channel of her own accord. Um, I don't know if it ever went anywhere, but yeah, it was something that really creeped a lot of people out because it seemed like this woman was genuinely in danger, but she was like being forced to eat all this stuff and things like that for a chance.
Damn. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. That 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 that's that's scary.
Yeah, this story was decently interesting. I think it could have done with a bit more because
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I got to the punch a little too quickly. Um, but I do find it interesting though, just like imagine seeing yourself, it's like an old friend that you know has gone missing, or like an old person you know has gone missing, and then like she's making videos of makeup tutorials and stuff like that, but like you could tell at times like she was just not into actually doing makeup, and then there's just at one point she just looks at you. Like it doesn't even look like she's looking at the camera. It looks like she's looking at you. That'd be pretty fucking creepy. But then to have it look like there's like a replica of you, like almost like another person that looks exactly like you on their show, and then she's saying, "Oh, this next video will be for you." I could see that being pretty creepy.
I was thinking like maybe he entered the wrong universe or something. Like imagine there's a parallel universe and she's doing the makeup with you on the parallel universe.
That reminds me of like there's a story we'll have to read for next time because like it's pretty long, but it's
Okay.
called "My Husband's Taking Role Playing Way Too Far." And
Okay.
despite the silly title, it's genuinely one of the best horror stories I've ever read. It is disturbed, but yeah. All right. Let's see here. Let me try to find one. Uh, let's go back to the top.
Go back to
Tippy top.
top.
Best of year. Excuse me. All right. Let's go down. I don't know why that one's so funny to me. Dylan's diary.
My
Uh,
Lamau.
whoa! Bow chicka wow wow.
Is this supposed to be something spooky?
Apparently. Uh, Stay in your vehicle. My AI chatbot. My brother ethically altered. What the hell does that mean? My wife is. Oh, I thought it said my wife is fucking.
What? Oh my god. Why is there so many marriage couple story?
I should have died 10 years ago. I would have a murder to thank for my life. My family moved a lot. Now I know where I'm running from. I hire sex workers for a few hours to hug and hold me, and then I give her flashcards to tell her what to say to me. I feel like you're the horror story here, buddy. My friend invited me to sleep over at the house. We weren't allowed to wake up before his parents. My husband had a towel on his face. Cool. It's spooky. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I
Okay.
found it weirdo. Okay, not it's too hot for even Twitch, it seems. Hmm. Still not sure how I feel about any of these.
Maybe we should go wait, hold on.
We just do all time.
Yeah, just do all time.
And then let's scroll for 10 seconds straight. Stop. Okay. My sleep paralysis demon is actually pretty chill. God.
Wait, this came out before the chill guy became a trend.
Alright, you know what? We're doing this one. We're doing this one. But this is actually terrifying, I'll be damned. Uh, what the fuck? And hold on, scroll back up.
Let's go back up.
Scariest story of 2020. What day? Okay. My first memory of sleep paralysis happened when I was 10 years old. I remembered because it was the night my parents took me to see Shrek 2 for getting good marks on my report card. It was an evening show, so we got in late, and my mom tucked me straight into bed when we got home. It was around 4 a.m. when I woke up. The light from my alarm clock told me that much. I couldn't feel anything, not my pajamas against my skin or the warmth against the pillow. I could feel my arms and legs, but they felt heavy, as if a great weight was holding them down. I tried to call out, but I couldn't. My voice caught in my throat, my lips unable to move. I mustered a weak groan that sounded like a cross between a frog's croak or a zombie's moan, but that was it. I thought I was dead. This is what death feels like, being awake but unable to move or tell anyone. My mind wrestled with the idea of being placed in a coffin, unable to tell anyone I was alive in there, unable to move or say anything as the lid closed when they put me underground, still alive. My fear subsided as I felt my heart thudding in my chest. In response to my near panic attack, I became aware of my breathing, which slowed as the fear subsided. I calmed a little, thinking it was a dream. But that's when I saw him first time. Mr. Brownstick Legs.
Brown stick leg. Brown stick leg.
What the hell is this story gonna be?
I like his name.
He huddled
Continue.
in the corner of my room by my closet. His two oversized red eyes glow in the dark of my bedroom. His face was like a porcelain mask, white, expressionless, with no mouth or nose, only those two haunting red eyes. When he stood up, his body unfolded like origami. Oh, I like that. Until his head reached the ceiling, his neck bent, tilted forward as his true height was greater than the height of my room. His long black torso was covered in shimmering symbols that reflected red in the light of his glowing eyes. He stood on two spindly thin legs that disappeared in the shadows of my room. He made no noise as he moved, seemingly to glide as he hovered closer to my bed. His long, thin arms reached down to me as I moaned through the paralyzed lips. I could not scream, even though I very much wanted to. His fingers reaching through the darkness down to my face. Two pointed fingers touched against my eyelids, pushing them closed. I remembered his fingertips feeling cool but not cold. Even though the ends of his fingertips looked sharp, his touch was gentle.
Damn.
Do not struggle, little one. Sleep. Sleep, he said. His voice was so deep I feel it in my chest when he spoke. I did as he instructed, convincing myself that it was indeed a dream, even if it wasn't. The back of my eyelids was more reassuring than looking into those piercing red eyes and his vacant mask of a face. I closed my eyes, wanting it to be a dream, willing it to be a dream. I woke up the next morning, thankfully able to move, walk, and talk. I explained what I saw to my parents, who both agreed it was a dream. My mom tried floating an idea that something from Shrek 2 scared me, but neither my dad or I bought it. For confirmation, Dad asked that I draw a picture of what I saw for them. As I was drawing, I ran out of black crayon and had to finish his legs with the next darkest color in my crayon box. Hey there, Mr. Brownstick Legs, my dad said as I handed him the drawing. You leave my daughter alone now, you hear? This is how my sleep paralysis demon ended up with the name Mr. Brownstick Legs. Giving him a silly name helped take off some of the edge going to bed the following night. My dad even did a sweep of the room calling out for him. Here, Mr. Brownstick Legs, he said, whistling as if you were calling a dog. It made me giggle, and the whole episode felt more fun than scary. But once they took me in and turned off the light, I felt the dread creeping back in. Darkness hits harder when you expect to find something lurking in the shadows. I don't know how long I searched, but I eventually fell asleep. In the weeks following, I searched for Mr. Brownstick Legs every night as I fell asleep. Even when I went over to sleepovers, I would do a cursory check in case he tagged along to a friend's house. As time passed, my searches became less frequent. Could you imagine if, like, it did? Like, you see this, like, giant spindly creature, like, freeze you in place and then close your eyes for you?
But
You're like, and then you're like, when the fuck is he coming back? And then, like, could you imagine if you're just at a friend's house, you think it's all great and stuff like that, and you're just there. Your pals are there on the side of you sleeping soundly, but then you just see him standing over them.
that's kind of creepy, yeah.
I would genuinely wonder what it's like to have sleep paralysis, because that is a real thing.
Hold on. I was thinking that I was thinking that like when you get um I mean when you get sleep paralysis, do you see?
For a lot of people, yes, you do.
You can
But you
see,
can't. You can see, but you can't move your body at all.
but I can't see. Like I when I got like when I think when I got sleep paralysis, I can hear
Mhm,
like a lot of sounds like just like people, you know, whisperings, but I
mhm,
don't think I can see. Like I can feel like my
mhm,
mind is awake and I am able to think and I'm able to
mhm.
hear, but I cannot see. Like because
That's interesting.
I think because basically because my eyes physically is closed.
Mm.
Yeah. Do you see when you get
I've never experienced it.
Really?
Never had it.
Really?
Hmm.
Wait, can chat verify? Can anyone verify that when you get, sleep paralysis, can you see or like because for me I don't see, I only hear. That's interesting. Isn't it something like your mind is awake when your body is sleeping?
It's kind of like that, but yeah, it's like I wonder which I would be more to be in, like your position where you can only hear something, or the other position where you can see everything but you can't move at all. I feel like I would be more terrified if I could see everything, because especially it's like again, some people experience sleep paralysis demons where they think they see a figure inside their room.
Mm-hmm.
So to have the idea that something's in the room with you, but you can't even run if you wanted to, is fucking
Oh
horrifying.
wait, I think some of my friends, even some of my friends said that they saw dead relatives inside their room.
Oh no, bro.
It's like damn. Like I don't see. I don't think I see. That's
Mm,
interesting. But like nevertheless, if you see or you hear, you cannot move your body. Yeah, you cannot do anything. Even like make
yeah,
a sound or something. I like if you try to move your body, it feels even harder to breathe, right?
really.
Yeah, like when you get sleep paralysis, if you try to move your body, it felt like it's already when your mind is awake but your body is sleeping, it's already feel like it's very hard to breathe. And you try to move or you try to reach out if you try to call for help or something, it felt even heavier to breathe. That's what I did when I
This
first get my when I experienced for the first time. I was in a panic, but then I realized that I cannot do anything, so I just let it go. Kind of
that that
relax.
that is horrifying.
Wait, you never experienced it before?
No.
That's crazy. I just like whenever then like now I got the experience. Whenever I had it again, like I hear when my mind is awake and I hear like in the middle of the night and I hear whispering sounds everywhere inside the room, I'm just like relax my body and just let it go and just wait. Now if you wait for a bit, it's gonna be over.
Hmm.
Mm. But I don't think I see anything. But that's interesting. Okay, carry on.
Yeah. It's here. Where
Here.
were we? In the weeks following, I searched for like Mr. Brown sick legs every night as I fell asleep. Even when I went to sleepovers, I would do a cursory check in case he tagged along to a friend's house. As time passed, my searches became less frequent. As a couple of months later, the night before my first day of fifth grade, when I woke up to Mr. Brown's sick legs straddled over my bed, his empty plate of a face inches from my own. A scream stuck in my throat, coming out like a gush of air releasing from a pool float. Ugh.
E.
Hush, child, he said. His voice was deep, echoless. I don't know how he spoke without a mouth, but I heard him nonetheless. I saw that he held a piece of paper in his fingers, crumpled on the edges and torn. He held it up to show me. On the page was a pink blob with blue dots for eyes and a droll red smile that and stick lines for legs and arms. It was lying on a blue rectangle. I found the picture you drew me. So I drew a picture of you. Do you like it?
Damn! Wait, he's
I
cute.
Not Yanni getting rizzed up by all of Mr. Brown's stick legs.
Wait, I think that's cute, no? He's
Is.
being friendly.
I tried nodding, but I couldn't move. I tried answering, but all that came out was the same dry croaking sound. You draw another one for me. I like the first one. You gave me pants. I look good in pants. Again, I was unable to respond or to even give him an answer. He must have been able to read my intent because he tucked the picture under my pillow before closing my eyes again. When I woke up in the morning, I bolted upright and tossed my pillow off the bed. My heart leapt into my throat when I found the picture. It wasn't a dream, he was real. I
Damn.
went to my desk and began drawing a picture for him, starting with his face and eyes, trying to capture as much details as I could remember. I'd forgotten all about the first day of school until my mom opened my door and found me still in my pajamas.
Lexi!
She yelled, startling me as I was coloring in his eyes.
Your bus will be here in less than an hour. Get dressed now.
I took my picture into my school backpack and got dressed. I finished my drawing at recess that day using my brand new Crayola 64 pack that I got back with school supplies.
Is it
I gave
advertisement?
him. I think it may be ad time. Is it
Nah.
ad time?
No.
No, Crayola is like just type of coloring crayon that we have over here.
Okay.
I gave him blue pants this time, figuring he'd like to see himself in jeans. I wrote his name, Mr. Brownstick Legs, at the bottom of the picture and drew a smiley face next to it, hoping he'd like his nickname. I flipped the paper over to write him a message on the back. I wanted to ask him questions, but didn't want to anger him since he visited when I was at my most vulnerable. I wrote out on my letter on a separate piece of paper before copying it over to the back of my picture. Dear Mr. Brownstick Legs, that's your name. My name is Lexi. I am in 5th grade. What is your name? How old are you? Do you go to school? Why do you visit my bedroom? Why can't I move when you visit? You look scary, but you also seem nice. I hope we can be friends. Love,
Damn.
Lexi. P.S. I hope you like your blue pants. I added another smiley face at the end of the letter, my final emphasis on wanting to be friends. I considered closing with sincerely, but I figured love was a better, friendlier choice. I tucked the picture under my pillow that night, not anxious to see him rather than filled with dread of his reappearance. But like last time, he did not return the next day, the day after. The days stretched into weeks, and every morning I found the picture tucked under my pillow from the night before. It wasn't until Thanksgiving break that I saw him again. My eyes opened as the morning sun poked through the blinds of my bedroom. His body didn't look different in the light. In fact, his black skin seemed darker,
In
absorbing the
light?
sun's rays. Yeah, because apparently she's experiencing this, like, I'm guessing in the morning.
Ah, okay.
His black skin seemed darker, absorbing the sun's rays without giving anything back. His eyes seemed wider than before. If he had a mouth, I would have figured he was smiling. In his slender fingers was the picture I drew for him. Hello, Lexi. Thank you for the picture. I do look good in blue pants. I wanted to smile, but, well, sleep paralysis. He flipped the. Hello, Katamaton.
Hello. Hi, welcome in.
Katamaton?
Let's call
We're
him
reading
K.
some horror stories, but it seems like this one's a lot more lighthearted, a lot more fun. He flicked the picture over to the side of my letter. I will answer your questions the best I can. I do not have a name, not one you could ever pronounce, but I'm happy for you to call me the Brownstick Legs. As for my age, I exist out of the construct of time. Therefore, I am ageless. I do not go to school, nor do I know what school is. How do I visit you? I visit to feed on the energy of your soul.
We have ads in like 30 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna take a short break and we're gonna be back to finish this story. I like this one. This is the energy of your soul. It sounds legit, yeah. It sounds legit. It's I know when a guy
I like
visit
how
me. I mean, I when a guy visit me, I know he must be wanting something from me. He can't just give me all these things for free.
you're I
Lamau.
swear, Yenny, sometimes I'm concerned for you and sometimes because it sounds like you're just like, ooh, I like what you're offering. Take my energy.
Shut up. All right, we'll be back.
You gonna write Mr. Brown Stick Legs fanfic after this?
How'd you know? Never mind.
He cradled me in his
We be
big, long
back.
black arms. What a hunk in his porcelain mask.
And we're back.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are back. Hi, Chad. Welcome back from the app.
Okay.
Okay. We were at this part, yeah. Visit to
Yeah,
feed
we
on
were
the
at him wanting our energy. All right.
Yep.
Let me drink one more time real quick.
Yum 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 yum.
Mmm. Tasty water. Gives a nice sense of hydration.
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 Hydration. I said
My
hydration.
H2O.
Shut up.
Anyways.
Hey, blah, blah.
Anyways.
I hate
My
you.
breath quickened as a mute groan exited my teeth.
I hate you.
I wanted to run, wanting to get away from him, but I was pinned and unable to move.
I hate you.
He sensed my uneasy. How would you say that to Mr. Brownstick Legs? Um, he sensed my uneasiness and tried to calm me by patting my forehead. Let me explain. Have you been to the ocean? It appears vast, almost limitless as you stare out into blue water, with no visible land on the other side. In my mind, I was standing on a beach. I felt the salty ocean breeze against my face as I looked over the massive body of water. The waves crashed at my feet. I felt the rush of water over them, followed by the trickle of sand and pebbles as the water drew back. Your soul is like an ocean, vast, limitless, undefinable by words of your understanding. I take only a sip, a single glass of water from a vast ocean. I am not one who could consume an entire ocean. Dark clouds formed over the water as I stayed white capped. I stared at the white capped waves. The clouds unleashed a heavy downpour, turning the horizon gray as rain fell from the skies over the ocean. Just as the rain falls over the ocean, your soul can replenish itself by more than I could ever consume. Not even 1,000 of your years. Does that make you feel better? On the beach, in my mind's vision, I nodded. In my bedroom, he nodded back at me. Good. As for your last question, why you cannot move? We are meeting at a point outside of your time, where your world and mine touch. Your physical body cannot move here. If you persist, you can learn to speak with me with your mind, and I will answer your questions in exchange for your drawings. You can draw your pictures of whatever you like. I want to know more of your world.
Wait, he's really just a chill guy.
He really,
He's
it's what the title
really
said. He's
just
just
a
a
chill
chill ass
guy.
dude. This guy's just like, yo, let me suck on your soul energy and then you draw pictures of me. Cool, cool.
Bastila say I couldn't sleep. Oh, hello,
Don't
welcome
worry,
in.
we're here to help with that. Maybe you'll be visited by Mr. Brownstick Legs tonight.
Welcome in. We're reading r slash no sleep on Reddit today, and yeah, this story is what's the title again? The title is
Um,
My Sleep Paralysis Demon is actually a pretty chill guy and is written 4 years ago. So like this this story was here before the pretty chill guy meme went viral.
I hate that you're thinking about that meme every time you read the name of it. I know you are.
I mean, okay, continue.
Good.
Here.
All right. In my mind, I nodded again. This knowledge is a gift, so we can understand one another more. I am not one who would hurt you. He pressed his fingertips on my eyelids again, closing them. In my mind's eye, I was still on the beach, but the sun was setting, and no stars were visible through the rain. I drifted back to the sleep to the sound of falling rain again. The next morning, I asked my parents for a sketchbook and colored pencils. They tried to hold me off until Christmas, but since I spent most of my afternoons and weekends drawing pictures in my room, Dad let me open one of my gifts a week early. A Strathmore sketchbook with 100 pages with a 50 pack of Crayola colored pencils. It's funny, this is reminding me back when I went trick or treating for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Um I didn't have anything for my sophomore year because I completely forgot. And I was just like, shit, I need to come up with something.
Mm-hmm.
So I chose to dress up as a red Crayola crayon. I literally just got red shorts, a
Mm-hmm.
red shirt, and
Mm-hmm.
then just got a big paper and wrote Crayola on it and just taped it on my shirt and just went out with 2 buckets that
That is
day.
so cute.
The best part is I actually got 2 bucketfuls of candy at the trick or treating run.
Wait, that's so cute. I would definitely give you candies if you come to me with that costume. That is very
Hello, I
cute.
am Red Crayon.
That is
uh,
very cute.
I started by drawing the rest of my family: mom, dad, my little brother Tommy, our cat Livy, and even though he had died, our dog Pancakes. Aw, Pancakes is a good dog name.
No.
Next, I drew our house, then our car, then my school. I kept drawing anything I could think of. Trees, birds, insects until my sketchbook was full. I used my allowance to purchase more books so I could keep drawing. I honed my craft, redoing my earlier drawings in greater detail. My thoughts concerning his wording. I'm not one who could consume an entire ocean. I wanted to ask him if there were those who could, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to know such things. Mr. Brownstick Legs didn't return until my freshman year of high school. To him, it
Oh.
wasn't like any time had passed. I read
Huh?
up on lucid dreaming in time between visits so that when he returned, I could be better capable of talking to him. He held my book in his hands, flipping through my drawings, doting over increased refinement of my drawing skills. I had filled a dozen sketch pads and upgraded from Crayola to Prismacolor Premier pencils for my drawings.
Damn.
His biggest surprise was when after he complimented my drawings, I spoke to him. This
Thank
is you.
you.
I said, seeing the words in my mind as I spoke them aloud. If he had a surprised expressions, his eyes showed it. You've been very busy, child, he said. Do you have any questions you would like to ask? I hesitated, but finally formed the words in my mind.
Are there creatures who can consume the entire ocean?
He didn't respond right away, which made me think I had not asked properly. As I asked him a second time, he put fingers to my lips as if to shush me. There are those who can. There are dark ones. They're capable of consuming entire souls, emptying them out, leaving them dry and barren. You should not fear them, but you should also not provoke them. His eyes curved downward, as if concerned or afraid.
What do they look like?
He asked. In my mind, my visions were filled with great, terrible creatures, spiders taller than the Empire State Building on spindly legs of shadow and smoke. Tentacle creatures in the sea, lofting blue whales like they were toys, ripping them to shreds with curved chitinous beaks.
Damn.
Great, ghastly flying creatures that knocked over orchards and forests with the beat of their leathery wings. I showed you only because you ask, Mr. Brownleg said. But it is best that we don't talk or think about them. Let them be. I nodded him in my mind. He leaned forward and pressed his plate forward to my head, as if to kiss my forehead, which was odd since he didn't have a mouth. But then, as usual, he closed my eyes and then I drifted back to sleep. My life took a downturn during the latter years of high school. My dad lost his job, and when the search for a new one dragged on, he turned to drinking to cope with his failure. He wasn't
Oh.
abusive, but he wasn't fun to be around either.
Oh no.
In the months following, my parents would hush their arguing when I entered the room, greeting me with smiles as if nothing were wrong. That lasted until the day I came home from school to see them fighting over a foreclosure notice from the bank. We moved out over a weekend from our home to the suburbs to an apartment on the other side of town. I internalized my feelings during that time. I withdrew from my friends and school activities besides the art club, the only thing we could still afford. I saw my friends driving to school hanging out while I rode the bus, too poor and too far out to join in. My taste began to change as well. Out was the bubblegum pop of Katy Perry, Keisha, and Taylor Swift. Instead, I listened to Pierce the Veil. What the hell was that?
It's a raid. Lamau.
Oh, okay. I was like so weirded out. I thought somebody like jumped into the VC for a second. I was like,
Kirsten,
whoa.
thank you so much for the raid. Hello, welcome invaders. Kirsten raid. Curse raid. Wait, it's curse raid.
It's the cursed raid.
Let me give you a shout out real quick. Hello, welcome invaders. We are reading r/nosleep today on Reddit, and we are currently going through a story that called, what is it?
I think it's like turns out my sleep paralysis demon is a pretty chill guy.
Yeah. So this story title is "My Sleep Paralysis Demon is actually a pretty chill guy," and it
Yeah,
came
it's
out.
it came out like 2020 and well actually no, October 2018. I guess it like picked up in 2020. Um but it's not really like outright like a terrifying horror story. It's more like something that's more interesting. Like the sleep paralysis demon is actually pretty interesting from what we're reading here and stuff like that.
Yeah. So it came out before the chill guy meme went viral. So it was.
I hate that that's the point you always point towards when you're talking about this story so far. Guys, it was 2020, so the chill guy wasn't here yet. They're trailblazers. You're such a
So
brat.
I just want to see that, you know, I just want to tell people that, the chill guy. I like the chill guy meme. I don't know why it's so funny to me. Um, Cosmo, hi, hello, welcome in. Silly Yon. Hello, hi, welcome in. Welcome in. What did you guys? Oh, you were just also just yapping. I hope you had a fun stream, Kirsten. Thank you so much for the rate. Thank you, thank you. Your mom looks so cute with the colors. Yeah, I messed something up with VTube Studio, and this color, my original color is pink, but I changed the color a little bit in VTube Studio, and now I look brown and red. Not really, not bright red, but like cherry kind of red. So this is chocolate strawberry Yenny. Alexander, hi, hello, welcome in. We were reading a story, and I'm gonna finish the story first. I'm so sorry I couldn't talk much to chat for today because we're reading this. We have a story going on, but I hope you guys enjoy the story. Yep.
Yeah, just sit back, kick back, thanks for the raid, and hope you enjoy the ride.
Yum 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 yum.
Ready to continue?
Uh, what where were we again?
Right where you have highlighted.
Oh yeah.
My
Okay.
no, my taste began to change as well. Out was the bubblegum pop of Katy Perry, Keisha, Taylor Swift. Instead, I began to listening to Pierce the Veil, Sleeping with Sirens, and Bring Me to the Horizon. Oh, I know that last band. My clothes and makeup became darker, more black t-shirts and skirts with black eyeliner and black fingernail polish. Mom called it my goth phase, not that she understood.
Goth.
Ugh. My drawings became darker too. I moved from colored pencils to charcoal, drawing skulls and gothic looking cemeteries, and my passion for drawing and flowers waned. I also drew the dark ones in greater detail, exactly how I remember them in my mind's eye. Mr. Brown's stick legs visited me again a month after we moved into the apartment. He looked more at home in the room of Black Knight posters and death metal bands than he did in my previous room. His eyes were dim, not the vibrant red as they were before. He stared at me as I lay in bed, unable to move. He moved inches from my face, and I heard his words in my mind. Your soul tastes different now. He didn't speak of my drawings. I worried that he might, especially since I was been drawing the dark ones. Not only drawing them, but thinking about them and what type of damage they could do if they were to awake. He seemed sad for me. Although reading his expression was difficult with no face, he patted my forehead like before, but didn't close my eyes before leaving as he used to. My life continued its spiraling path like a bottle rocket with a broken stick. My parents didn't talk outside of short conversations about which bills to pay and which ones to ignore. Each night, dad disappeared into a bottle while mom disappeared online to chat with a male Facebook friend she knew from high school. Ugh.
Oh no.
The thing about rock bottom is that it's often a disguise for a trapdoor that drops you to an even lower depth than you thought possible. The first bottom came when my father died. Drove off the road into a gravel pit late at
Oh
night with an empty bottle
no.
of bourbon in the passenger seat. I cried, but I felt hollow. But it felt hollow. I felt hollow. Even when mom tried to hold me, I felt nothing inside. Not sadness, not guilt, not anything. I disappeared into sketchbooks, drawing even darker, more disturbing images. Death, dismembered, vividly accurate, vivisections of cute animals I used to enjoy drawing. My friends no longer talk to me, which is fine because I didn't want to talk to them anymore, anyways. I found people to hang out with, not friends, but people who get me access to moments of chemical induced euphoria
Oh
to forget about life
no.
for a while.
Oh no.
Just like the trapdoor opened, dropping me to a new rock bottom of addiction. One thing I had in common with my dad, but instead of falling into a bottle, I fell into a needle. I stole money from my mom's purse to feed my habits, not that she noticed. She was busy with her old Facebook friend who had moved from online acquaintance to nightly sleepover companion. When the time to begin my senior year, I didn't even bother going back. I kept drawing, filling my sketchbooks with the dark images that reflected my bleak outlook on life. The dark words, the dark ones were prevalent subjects during this period of my life. I drew them feasting on humanity, raking flesh from their bone into jagged teeth behind lips of smoke. I came home one night to find my mom and her new male friend in the middle of a fight. It was different from her fights with dad, more violent, more physical. When he raised his hand at me for trying to intervene, I decided it was time to bolt. I left home, hitching rides with anyone who had a set of wheels I could manage to put for short periods of time. My preference leaned towards those with access to the chemical release I craved. The more I could numb, the more I could escape. I found certain drug combinations had similar effects to sleep paralysis, where my mind's ability to control my body became severed. In those moments of numb paralysis, I'd see Mr. Brownstick Legs watching me from afar as I dulled the pain. I saw what I perceived as dark ones too, but they weren't hiding in the shadows like Mr. Brownstick Legs did. They were the shadows.
Huh.
I called out to them as well. For those moments, I wanted nothing more than to be hollowed out and empty, a void so dark no pain could ever penetrate it. When they didn't answer, I called out Mr. Brownstick Legs, but he would vanish every time. Perhaps it was all just drug-fueled hallucination. Overdosing was never my intention. I was pushing too much, trying to find the edge of the void that was feeling so low, so very low, searching for something extra to filter out the background noise. I took it too far, giving myself a near lethal dose.
Oh
At one
gosh.
moment, I was lying next to strangers on a stained mattress in an abandoned warehouse. Then came the initial rush of euphoric bliss and then nothing. Damn.
Damn.
It's almost interesting because, like, as I'm reading this, right, it's like if we were to take it to, like, Brown Sicklex said, he feeds on the soul a bit, but he said that the dark ones could, like, drown out a person's soul
Mm-hmm.
with ease. I wonder if because she thought about them and wanted to greet them in a sense, she was already kind of waking them in a sense. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
this isn't connected at all, but like, um, maybe the dark ones are trying to have like an influence over her life to push her towards waking them up,
Mm-hmm.
towards like, come on, get a bit further, ruin your life more and more,
I was
that
thinking
type of
about
thing.
I was thinking about that too. Like because she saw the dark ones, right?
Mhm.
So that's why her life just got downhill from there. because it can consume the entire soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever I was traveling with at the time dumped me on the curb in the side of an ER, making me someone else's problem. This was my rock bottom moment, although at the time it felt more like a free fall. I spent 3 weeks in a coma. I was aware of my surroundings and could hear the doctors and nurses as they checked my vitals and tended to my cleanliness and upkeep, but I couldn't move or speak. At the end of my 3rd week in the ICU on an incubator, I looked up to find Mr. Brown's stick legs hovering over me, his round red eyes peering through the darkness. What have you done to yourself, child? His voice spoke inside my mind. In my mind, I was beside him, standing next in the middle of a vast salt flat desert. The ground was cracked and dry in a hexagonal pattern that stretched out in all directions. It's your soul now. There's nothing left to drink. I heard my beep of the heart rate monitor back in my hospital bed speed up as fear entered my mind.
I called out I called out to the dark ones. I asked for them to come. They emptied me now, emptied my soul.
No, my child. You did this. You have not replenished. You have only consumed, and now nothing remains. I dropped to my knees in the middle of the salt as I felt numbing deep inside the hollow pit of my stomach. I leaned forward onto my arms, but they were no longer arms. They were pitch black and empty. I could feel them, but when I looked at them, they were empty voids of smoke and shadow. I stood up on my legs, but they were no longer my legs. The
Huh?
darkness swirled up my torso and down my arms. The emptiness inside consumed my entire body until only my head remained.
What's happening to me?
As I heard a snap as my arms and legs split, forming
Huh?
8 black, spindly thin legs, I collapsed onto them, unable to support myself. Mr. Oh, I get it. Mr. Brownstick legs glided down in front of my face, his eyes inched from my own.
Uh, Mr. Baker Breadstick, thank you so much for the follow. Hi, welcome in. Welcome to Yeni first. Hello, how are you doing? Um, hello. My name is Yenny, and here is my 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 co-host. You can call him Dime. We are reading a story. We're reading r slash no sleep on Reddit today, and the story is called My Sleep Paralysis Demon's actually a pretty chill guy.
Hmm.
Yeah, so we're in the middle of the story, and I wouldn't be able to talk much to chat because, we have a story going on, but I hope you enjoy the story. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. I deliver daily bread. Aw, I see. That's very cute. Thank you so much for the bread. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you enjoy the ride.
I think I'm starting to get it, especially after I gleaned the Nixons. But the dark ones aren't actually real.
Hmm.
It's you yourself are essentially dark one. Your soul is based on how you treat your life and stuff like that. And because she treated with such shit and just always looked with such a nihilistic view, she was essentially emptying on her soul until she felt nothing.
Mm.
As I told you, child, only the dark ones have the ability to consume an entire ocean of a soul. That is your fate. That is what you will become. Back in the room, my heart rate monitor crashed to a flat line. I felt the cold darkness swell up to my neck as the void consumed me. I was aware of the nurses and doctors held around my body, prepping the crash cart, but all I felt was the cold consuming what was left of me.
Help me! I uttered. Please! Please!
My physical body jolted from the electric paddles, but I felt nothing. Only the cold darkness, a needle injected into my IV line as the recharge for another burst of electricity. Still, I felt nothing. Only cold, only darkness, only the vast emptiness of the void. Mr. Brownstick Legs tilted his head as he stared through with his unblinking red eyes. He leaned forward, pressing his plate-like face to my forehead. I felt a vibration against my skin, followed by a tingling sensation of heat returning. The darkness receded and back down to my arms and legs. As he pulled back, The red in his eyes had diminished. A gift for the girl who gave it. A tear
Wait.
formed in my eye. It rolled down my cheek and fell into the parched landscape below. Before I could say anything, an electronic jolt coursed through my body, pulling me away from the salt flat expanse and back to my hospital room. The sinus rhythm of my heart rate, the sinus rhythm of my heart rate monitor returned to me, and I felt the cool gel of the defibrillator paddles against my chest. I remember squeezing the hand of one of the attending nurses who smiled down at me.
Look who's awake.
I cried, but it was different than before. I felt the pain I had been avoiding, but I felt something else as well. I felt grateful. I felt the sense of hope that I hadn't known in a long time. It was a long road back from the darkness, but the road of recovery, like a road, it leads to a destination. After years of listless drifting towards the void, having a destination was the first important step in finding self love. I reconnected with my mother, who was struggling with her own form of darkness. We leaned on one another, talking and going to therapy as we went through the issues that drove us apart. After my release from the hospital, I moved back home with her, her Facebook friend long gone. I got my GED and used my many sketchbooks as a portfolio to get an apprenticeship at a tattoo parlor. I've been clean for 4 years now, and it feels good to smile again. Granted, I still prefer Pierce the Veil to anything from Katy Perry's catalog, and my tattoos and jewelry have more skulls than fluffy bunnies, but that's all on the surface. I no longer crave the darkness to consume me. I often think about the vision with Mr. Brownstick legs on that salt flats in the night in the hospital. I had not seen him since that night, and I often wonder about the state of my soul since that day. Has it replenished, or is it still a dried up barren wasteland that he took on the night? Last night, at 3 in the morning, I finally got my answer. I woke up with a heaviness in my chest, arms, and legs. At first, I felt grips of fear grabbing hold of me, much like the first time I experienced this, but then, at the dark corner of my room, I saw glowing red eyes staring back at me from the shadows. In spite of my sleep paralysis, I couldn't help but smile when I heard his voice call out to me. Child, your soul tastes much better now.
Aww.
I was not expecting something
Aww.
so damn wholesome.
Aww. Me too.
That was really good. It
Yeah.
wasn't scary, really, but it was just more melancholic when it
Mm.
got to its like darker moments. It's just like it is horrible what life events and addiction can do to somebody. It really fucks them up.
Mm.
And I think this is like a really good allegory of just it's easy to fall into a bad pit stop, but if you really try hard enough, you can get back on the straight and narrow.
I thought he died.
Yeah, same. I thought he was gone, but
Yeah.
that was really nice. I like that story a lot. That and 303 are probably my favorite of the night.
Yay. I think the most I like the story with the
Yeah.
sugar daddy story the most.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it was so unexpected. I think
Man, this
not.
guy's still been staying. Honestly, how does this guy not have hypothermia yet? He's been standing out in this snow for 2 hours and 40 minutes.
What is it? Common said my first experience with sleep paralysis was when I was like 20 or 22. I'm 35 now. It happened at my great grandfather's house like not long ago after moving in. I woke up in a void in the closet and it just felt like it was trying to pull my spirit into it. I tried to yell to my girlfriend who was awake in the living room, but nothing came out. I woke up the next day weirded out. Thought maybe I had a seizure or epilepsy,
Epilepsy.
epilepsy or something. What does that mean?
Epilepsy is essentially you struggle with the biggest one is you struggle with flashing or strobing lights to the point that it can cause see.
I have them periodically since then. I could hear people in my house talking and that weren't there, I could go run up and be on the other side. I could hear it ringing next to my head. And one of those demon like how they look in African statues. Damn. It gradually became not scary and sort of gotten used to it. Now it's sometimes turn into out of body experiences where it feels like your spirit disconnects from your physical body and it wants to levitate away. I know it's about to begin because I can hear ring in my ears and static buzz from interesting. Great story, but I gotta head out of bed now. Bye bye. Hello, bye bye, Kay. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoy the story, and I hope you have a good day ahead of yours. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for stopping by. Um, I think yeah, sleep paralysis is usually like that. Although I don't see though, I only can hear.
Be careful to refill your own like.
You too. Anyways, anyways,
Anyways, anyways,
anyways. Yes, anyways.
anyways,
I think
anyways.
this is
This is a good stopping point,
yeah.
I'd
We're
say.
gonna stop it for today. We've been reading for 2 hours already.
That was good though. I
Yeah,
like that.
3 hours, not 2 hours. 3 hours. That was very
I was
fun
not
though.
expecting a story with that title to be so fucking good.
Mm-hmm. It was very fun though.
I thought it was gonna be a bit cheesy, but no, that's really fun.
Thank you so much, Dimothy, for being here with me today.
She can finally see my name, chat.
Dimothy, alright. Let me just switch back to the screen so we can have a little chat. If chat is here, I think chat has gone to bed at this hour. Dimothy, are you gonna stay for the raid?
Probably not.
Yeah, no, you had to stay for the raid.
Why?
Because I said so.
Joe Mama.
Can't believe they did. They didn't kiss! What are you talking about them? If I have, if my sleep paralysis demon actually kissed me, I'll be terrified.
My Chemical Romance.
Have you had a fun stream, Gayuchi? Didn't pay attention to the story. It was weird. I wasn't sleeping at all. You know what? If you sleep during the story, it means that I did my job.
It just means Mr. Brown Stick Legs has a new visitor to pay attention to.
Yeah. If you wonder who is Mr. Brown Slick Leg, if you're wondering who Mr. Brown Slick Legs is your mom. Thank you very much.
Whoa, my mind expanded.
Dun 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 dun. Okay. I'm gonna send you guys to someone who is also yapping. I would yap too, but I think I just ran out of stamina after 3 hours, so I'm gonna head out for today. As you guys know that I'm struggling from burnout, so I'm not sure if I am able to stream next week. I will put up an announcement for next week's schedule if I stream. And if I don't, I will, still have the announcement about it. Okay, thank you so much for stopping by, everyone.
You all have a good one, chat, young.
Bye bye,
Vanilla
chat.
mouse cake.
She's yapping. Bye bye, chat. Thank you so much for stopping by and being here and hanging out with me today, although I didn't do much today. Dimothy was carrying. Carrying.
Even from the dead, I'm carrying.
Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Mwah. Bye
Bye bye bye bye
bye.
bye 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 bye.